Well, hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. I am Diana Clary, the Lavender Lady. This is Coffee with Lavender. How the heck are ya? And you may or may not have noticed the thumbnail to today's presentation here. There's somebody who has a little someone around the house. Yes. And we will go to that person. My co-conspirator, my right hand, the one, the only, the brilliant, the beautiful, bionic dance, Kate Farr. How are you, dear?
I'm all right and more awake than usual, even though I haven't checked the Red Bull yet. Which is also surprising. I got very little sleep last night because Columbia and now Xander, my new kitty, were not on the friendliest of terms while I was trying to sleep. Although
Aww.
there was one moment where Columbia was on this side of me, Xander was on this side of me, and I was like trying to pet them both at the same time. This was round about 3 a.m.
Mm,
So yeah.
fun.
Oh
But
my.
and I hate to say Xander doesn't quite respect Columbia's boundaries. Like he doesn't mean any harm by it. He's just like 4 months old and rambunctious as hell. So he keeps trying to roughhouse with her, and she's having none of it.
Yeah.
Oh
But at least
my.
Typical kitty.
when I first brought him home, she was trying to murder him. And now they can at least be in the same room together.
Without wanting them trying to
That's
kill
a
each other.
good thing.
Yes.
And the
Yes.
other voice in the
Several days is the thing is I had to sleep on the living room floor with Xander in an enclosure because otherwise he would bitch and bitch and bitch for 2 nights. So yeah.
and then the other voice on the console at our navigation station is the lovely Mom NATO. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, folks. Welcome to Coffee with Lavender. As I watch my tuxedo kitty chase his tail.
Oh
You're a
my.
goofball. Yeah, he's been doing this thing lately where he'll sit down and he'll start swishing his tail back and forth, and then he starts trying to grab his tail with a paw. And you hear this thump thump thump
Oh
thump 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 thump
my.
thump. And he's just chasing his tail while sitting still. It's kind of funny to watch.
I don't think the little one has done that at all. What she usually chases are the houseplants.
No, Xander, stop.
So what do? I buy all sorts of houseplants. I've got houseplants everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of these days, what I'm going to have to do is mix up some of that cayenne pepper and put it in a spray bottle and see if that acts as a deterrent. But we'll do something about that.
Spray bottle, you say?
Oh yeah! All right.
Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna have to find my spray bottles, and
But seriously,
it's getting to be that time where the wasps are flying around outside.
oh boy.
Yes,
I have a
I've caught
solution for
several of
that
them.
actually.
Mm.
One of my YouTube subscribers, completely unsolicited, and I didn't know this even exists, sent me a shotgun that fires salt. It's meant for killing
Oh
houseflies. I'm sure
yeah.
it can do quite well against
Mhm.
wasps.
Hmm. Well, we have, I don't know what this thing was, but it was the size of my hand, from my middle finger all the way down to my wrist. And it was a wasp of some sort. And it was red and yellow. And
Hmm.
generally in nature, when things are bright colored, they are dangerous.
Yes, they are. Usually.
So, and this thing was not small. I mean, this was a huge, and wasp is the best thing I could call it because it had the upper body, a really
Hornet.
tiny, slender waist, and then the butt swelled out.
It's a hornet.
I don't know if it was a hornet or
Well,
not,
I
but
don't
It
it
know.
sounds
was
more like it was a
huge.
full-fledged horn.
Yeah.
Well, it had the tail end went from really fat down to a narrow stinger type, like a cone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking?
Well,
And it curved.
recently I saw a tweet. I'm trying to remember who put it up. It was somebody involved in science. Um, showing a wonderful example of mimicry, where you had a wasp and a fly that looked almost identical. And really, the only way you could tell them apart was by looking at the head, because the fly had a typical fly head, and at the wings, because the wasp had 4 wings, as wasps do, and the fly had 2. Um, so that was a really interesting, fun sort of thing. And I'm just curious, Kate. I don't know if you've mentioned this to other people much or not on the twatters or whatever. Whatever got you thinking about getting another kitty?
Oh, I've wanted one for ages. And I've never had an orange kitty, which Xander is.
Yeah,
So
obviously orange.
obviously, Ivan did not work out as well as I might have hoped. So I brought home Xander instead, and he seems to be working out better.
Yay, this is a good thing.
Yeah. Although Columbia has been kind of distant, actually. Like since I brought him home, she hasn't been doing lap sits. She doesn't really seem to purr very much when she's being petted. I'm not sure she's happy yet.
I'm thinking, is she still a little bit stressed?
Maybe. I'm trying to make sure she knows that she is indeed still loved, but
Oh, yes. Yeah, because I remember my DC took a little while to get accustomed to the kittens when my Celia had the 3 little kittens. He finally got to the point where he was very protective of, especially Civvy. Yeah, the the little tortoiseshell kitty. But that took a little while. That took a few weeks. I mean, she might have been about 3 or 4 weeks old by the time he started that one. So we'll see how things go with Columbia. You know, maybe things will get a little less stressful for her, and she'll settle in, and hopefully.
And there's nothing quite like getting a kitten to make you realize just how much your original cat is a bit of a fat ass.
Yeah.
Well, my options are either keep some kibble out all the time or hear Columbia bitch and bitch and bitch hours before feeding time.
Okay, then. Now, I don't have that trouble with Sylvia. She doesn't overeat. I mean, I free feed.
Well, but the thing is that Columbia doesn't really overeat either. She underplays. Like she doesn't
Okay.
exercise at all. And
Hmm.
I've never been able to get her to chase laser pointers or kitty chasers or anything. She just doesn't do it.
Yeah, my trouble is that I don't do it enough. The human really should play with the kitty a little bit more than she does, but I'll have to just try to leave a note on the monitor. Play with the damn cat, stupid human.
I mean, Xander is a lot more typical as far as cats go. But Columbia has always been just a little bit. See, off is the wrong word. Just atypical, I guess, is the only thing I got. Because, I mean, like, she never really liked cardboard boxes. She's not the sort, thankfully, to knock stuff off of shelves. She's just pretty normal.
Okay, then. That's really
Sorry,
weird that she
abnormal.
doesn't.
Sorry, brain not work now.
Yeah.
She's pretty well behaved, is what I'm saying. But she's atypical.
It's really interesting that she's not into the boxes.
I mean, she's started a little bit, but she's also like 11 years old.
Okay, then. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you can't keep this one out of a box. Well, when Purple came here, back in July. He brought gifts for Sylvia, and she more appreciated the box that the gifts came in than the gifts themselves. That was the fun part.
Well, that's the same thing with Columbia. I've had people send me kitty toys for her, and I'm just like, you're wasting your dough. The only thing that Columbia would ever play with is there's this sort of egg-shaped thing that you can put food in. So she has to bat it around for the food to fall out of it.
Oh.
That's the only thing she'll ever play with.
Okay, that's Columbia?
No, that's on your end.
That's Smudge.
Oh, okay.
That was Smudge being noisy.
I'm still getting accustomed to the kitty voices and trying to tell them apart.
Yeah. He
And,
doesn't meow that often when I'm on often whatever.
Hey, Zephod! Yay!
He doesn't make a lot of noise frequently.
Okay.
But today he's being talkative. Don't
Also,
ask
when are
me
you going to get to
why.
introducing me?
Who are you again? we have over here the Bombardier, the one, the only tornado pelt. You're a cutie. He's a real sweetie, actually.
Tired Tornado here.
Oh
Tired
my!
tornado.
Mom kind of woke me up from a nice sleep to tell me that you guys are going live, so there's that.
Oh man!
You
Well,
can go back to bed, you know. Nobody's keeping you up.
Well, I wasn't on for a couple weeks, so I figured I'd pop in.
yeah, okay, that's a good thing. Behave and you're fine. Be very have. Oh my! Oh my!
More like be very afraid.
Yeah, that's it.
No.
Mow.
Yeah.
Because
I really wish that
currently
Xander
knocking
would.
at my door.
I really wish Xander would come close enough to put him on camera. He's over on the kitty tree, way the heck over that away.
Uh-huh. Oh, now he jumped down.
So wait a minute now. Are you starting to grow cats now? How long is it before the tree starts bearing cats?
It's not going to. That's a kitty shrub.
Oh, okay. I was just looking. What was it that had me looking? Oh, there was a woo tweet on the Twitter about somebody planting food seeds and all this other happy stuff, and they're watering a walnut. And I'm looking at that and I'm saying, okay, they're talking about getting food right away and they're watering a walnut. Do they realize how long it takes a walnut to start bearing fruit?
Anyway,
Okay.
I guess I
Cat?
am kind of gonna head off because I am
Okay.
tired. See you
Okay,
later.
sweetness, you be good. You take
Will
care.
do.
Cat, if you bang your head
I've
into
been
my
starting
head
my
one more
whistle.
time. Smudge is being extremely needy today. He's decided to whop me on the back of my head with his head. Like, Mom, pay attention. Whack. Mean
Oh
cat.
my, oh my, oh my.
There goes Turbo Kitty.
Turbo Kitty.
Oh, he runs like a son of a bitch. He really does. I mean, Jesse Owens got nothing on this kitty.
Oh my word!
Oh, my
Oh
goodness.
my word! Oh my! So it's really wonderful to see that the kitties are more or less starting to get along and are at least tolerate
would
each
you say
other.
that? Yeah, well, I mean, Xander does keep intruding on Columbia's personal space, and he allows it for about half a second and then tells him to get lost.
In no uncertain terms.
I mean, even if he's not being rough Like even if he's not roughhousing, like if he's trying to sniff at her or whatever, she's like, "Get the fuck away from me, you brat." So
She'll get over that eventually. Eventually,
I hope
it might
so.
take
Oh,
a week or two.
here we go. Here we go. There's Xander.
Yay! 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 Yay!
He's like, "What are you doing to me, Mom?"
Hmm.
He's probably going to be about 10, 15 pounds.
I don't know. I don't know. I just know that he's cute now. I've always wanted an orange kitty, and
Mhm.
he's my
Now,
first. And you are not to chew on the microphone cord.
is he one of the
Okay.
ones that you saw that we were looking at the other day?
Well, the thing is, I'm not sure because he was found with his mother and three other siblings. There were four of
Right?
them total, like except the mom.
Aw, he's so
And
cute.
yeah, and so I don't know because I saw a
Oh,
lot of cats online. I just know that well,
if
he was yeah.
when he does that, you could try moving him up to your shoulder, and he may become a shoulder kitty.
Yeah,
When
maybe.
he,
I don't know,
he
but if he's
puts
going to
his
be
paws
10,
up.
15 pounds, I'm not sure how much I want that.
Well, I didn't expect it from Smudge the first time he did it, and I was sitting down, and he decided he was tired of being in my sweater because
Mm.
my old house was cold, and we had snow on the ground, so he would curl up inside my sweater when I was sitting down on the couch. And he decided to climb my shoulders one day and just lay on them. And I went to get up, and he's like, "Go ahead, I'm perfectly comfortable here."
Well, I
So
didn't
I
get
walked.
a good look at Xander's paws. I mean, they might offer a clue as to how large Xander would get.
Yeah, Smudge is actually small. He only weighs about 7 pounds.
Oh,
There's this
Oh, he's not
that's
very big paws.
oh boy, oh
He
boy.
might.
So, okay.
He might be about 10 pounds,
hmm.
Yeah,
maybe.
the little one over here seems to have settled in at, I'd say, around 7 pounds. I've got to weigh her at some point.
Hmm.
Um, she's held pretty steady somewhere between 6 and 7. So I'll put her on the school. I'll put her and I, or no, let's get the grammar right. Put her and me on the scale, and then me alone, and
I
we'll take
don't
the
own a
difference.
scale.
I own two. I thought one of them was not working properly. It turns out it is.
Oh no.
Hmm.
I mean, I could really use one of those double beam balances, if you will, or the double beam
Mm,
scales. But where would I put
yeah.
one?
Right. Well, my thing is
On the
that
ceiling.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
the scale I had before I moved was not working properly anymore. You'd step on it one time and you'd be one weight. You'd step on it another time, you'd be another weight. So
Oh,
I was
that
just
was
like, you
the
know what? No real point in taking it because every time you step on it, you have to zero it out before you step on it.
the last scale I had. Yeah, I had to step on it once, get up, step on it again, and then every time I'd step on it thereafter, I'd have the same weight I did the second time.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that worked out well enough, but still was one of those shitty, what's the word for it, bathroom scales.
Oh.
And
Hmm. Oh,
oh, somebody wants to play.
He does. He does.
he loves to bat stuff.
Oh, yeah. Very much so. Duh.
You're
Silly
gonna have to
kid.
get one of those feather toys.
I have something similar. It's actually a mouse toy on
Mm,
the end of it rather than a feather, but yeah.
yeah, he
He
so wants to
does
play.
love to chase it. No, you don't get to be on the desk. It's the
Oh,
Aw,
one thing he won't learn. He doesn't get to be on the desk.
aw. My cats. I've got a corner desk, so I have 2 shelving units, basically, beside my monitor, and my cats will climb up on only one shelf, and it's the top of my desk anyway, and they'll lay
Okay.
there. What? Oh goodness, barky dog. Hold on.
Who's a kitty? Who's a little kitty? Oh, that's right.
Oh,
Mhm.
oh,
Yeah.
yay! Hi there, Bright Eyes.
Mhm. Oh, and he does
Oh,
have these amazing amber eyes.
and hi to the kitty as well.
Mhm. Hey, I got dark peepers over here, huh?
That's
But no, Xander has these amazingly cool looking amber eyes. It's really cute.
oh my. Oh, I'll tell you what though. I know the pictures that you put up on Twitter a little while ago. I've got a similar little thing. Last night I went to the local Squall Mart. God,
Oh, those pictures.
it's a war zone. Damn.
Oh yeah. Oh, it looks like a movie, a disaster movie out there. I have some pictures of the local supermarket that just looks so apocalyptic. It's crazy.
Anything like this? Can you guys in the side chat here? I hope I've got this set up right. That's supposed to be onions.
What is?
Um, oh, okay, that's right. You cannot see these pictures here.
Yeah.
I had forget it. We've got a rack of onions or an aisle of onions that have absolutely nothing in them. It is just empty.
Oh
But
yeah. Oh, I've got a picture of the like soup and pasta aisle. And you
okay.
want to talk empty. The only thing that was left in the soup and pasta aisle was like cream of fill in the blank soup.
Oh
And
my.
I'm sorry, but cream of anything soup is nasty.
You know what's
So
the weird thing here is wait a minute, who did what to whom and for how much? Did you share
I
something?
yes, take a look.
Okay, I want to what do I want to do? Oh yeah. Yeah. I remember that photo. Yes.
And
Oh
I was also
God.
walking down the street and saw something completely new on the sidewalk. This. It's
What
like a
is that?
hand sanitizer station. It's like hand
Oh,
soap and towels, like paper towels.
okay, okay, now I get it. I saw the thing "Do not drink," and I didn't know what the hell that was going on over there.
It's a hand washing station. That's exactly what it is.
Okay. Now you know what's really
Yeah.
weird? That zero onions all down the aisle. The produce was well stocked. That's the weird
Yeah.
thing.
Well, there were a lot of things missing from the produce aisle, but the thing that knocked me out is that there was a lot of orange juice left. I'm like, you'd think that'd be one of the first things to go.
Okay,
Anyway, if
then.
anyone was curious what the kitty tent looks like, this is it right here.
Hello there. How are you? Okay,
Yeah.
so you've got the
But
litter box, you've got the toy, and you've got, yeah, all that good stuff. I don't know.
um
Are we able
and
to get to you guys in the side chat? Are you seeing this, or do I need to do some work on it yet? You know what I need to do? I
and
need to do some
and
work.
here's
There, now you got it.
here's
Oh my word! Look at that kitty face. Look at that
I
kitty
wanted to show the
face.
eyes. Look at his eyes. That
Ah,
color.
what a
And that
sweetie.
picture doesn't even do it justice. So yeah.
What is?
But no, it's absolutely crazy out there right now. I mean, the thing is, like, I'm not too worried about this whole pandemic thing that's going on, at least for myself,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I mean, there's like 11 cases in San Diego right now, and my immune system's pretty healthy, and I stay at home a lot. But the problem is, so I mean, I wasn't even necessarily preparing for this because I figured, it'll run its course, I'll be fine. But because everybody else is stocking up, everyone else is bunkering up, I find I have to as well just to fucking eat.
Yes,
Where
yes, yeah.
I won't be able to get groceries because everyone else is panicking.
Mm-hmm. I remember you
So
talking
now
about being.
too.
Yeah, you were afraid of starvation. Yeah,
Mhm. I'm hoping, almost hoping there will be food riots just because I can watch and go, ha, you're all stupid.
there
But
you go. I did get a bag of rice while I was there. They have 3 bags of rice, 15 pounds each. So I thought, okay, I'll get one.
I
Um,
still have more rice than I can possibly eat in a month right now. So,
well, this is really short grain. And while I was there, I
mm.
got some milk, I got some eggs, and I have
Milk
sugar.
is what I'm going to run out of.
I have sugar, so worst comes to worst, I can have rice pudding. That
Well, the rice I've got would not lend itself well to rice pudding. It's basmati, and I can't
right.
imagine that would go well in rice pudding. But I do have frozen chicken, and I can make, a good stir fry.
Okay then. Yeah, I have some of the leg quarters left from when I bought leg quarters for the chicken barley soup, and I ate up the chicken barley soup sooner than I thought I would. So
Mm.
next time around, I'm gonna have to make a larger batch. But
No, no, I'm not. My skirt is not exactly blown up by the idea of barley.
okay, yeah, it's I guess an acquired taste or something like that. It's one I loved ever since I was a girl. But
Mm.
yes, I am getting accustomed to saying that, even though everybody thought I was a boy back then.
Mm.
But yeah, my favorite grain was barley, and I couldn't get enough of it. I literally could not get enough. Nobody would let me have any. One of those deals. But even rice didn't get around the house all that much. And it was an amazing treat when I could have chicken rice soup. But now I can have all I want. Oh.
I don't know. Every time that, like, when the whole "don't touch your face" thing happened to prevent coronavirus, what popped into my head, I looked at the trap, Ray. I touched my face, Ray. That just, so I had to make that.
Okay
Had to.
then.
No
Okay.
choice.
Looking good, looking good. Oh my, oh my. Yeah, it's I don't know if I said it to you already. I think yeah, didn't I? I have to go back for denture adhesive because I forgot to get it the last time I was there.
And I'm telling you, super glue.
I just, yeah, just might. The weird thing though, stuff they had and stuff they were out of. They were totally out of canning jars. And
Oh,
I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, why? Because while I was there, I wanted to get some jar seals because I used the jars to. Oh, look at that! I remember that.
I find that rather odd. Why would you put seals in jars?
I know. They take up a lot of space. You really have to cram them in there and that sort of thing. Yeah, I get. But
Uh,
when I make a soup or a stew, it's really great to pour the warm stuff into the jar, have the lid, the seal, whatever it is on top there, and just tighten it up, and you get that vacuum seal going. Shove it in the defibrinator, and you're good for a while.
Okay, well, but if you want to talk about canning something, I've got, well, someone proposed this particular idea right here.
Oh my, yeah, yeah. Had you posted that, or did you take it
on
from
the
someone?
Facebooks. I might have put it on the tweeters, but I definitely put it on the Facebooks.
Okay, because I remember seeing that. Yeah. Put it on
And I mean,
online.
I think that's an absolutely brilliant idea. I love it. Now, if I can just figure out how to get a picture of my face up against glass like that, I'll have to get someone else to snap the photo.
Yeah, I think that would be, yeah, you'd have to go maybe the living room window or something, and your face against the glass and somebody taking the picture from the other side.
I mean, unless I have some translucent bit of plastic that I can just and have the webcam take the picture. There's possibilities, but I don't think I have that
I was going to
anywhere.
ask, yeah,
I can't picture what I might have that's a translucent bit of glass or plastic or whatever.
yeah, I was going to ask, you don't have a sheet of Lexan laying around, right?
I don't really know. I don't. Although if I find that old Superman comic I have, I might have some Lex paper.
Okay.
I don't know. It's kind of like whenever someone asks me what my religion is, and if I'm in a weird, silly mood, I tell them I'm a Lex Lutheran.
Uh-huh. There we go. There we
You
are.
know, yeah. You know me and my irreverent streak.
Mm-hmm. Oh my, so, yeah, the thing I'm a little concerned about, although not all that concerned. It's not that it would kill me or anything, but I'm sitting on a ticket to see the Dodgers. Well, it was originally scheduled for the 28th of April. I don't know if that game's going to be on or not, or I don't even know if the Nationals, the day before my birthday.
Well, the Dodgers, that's baseball, yes?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
as I understand it, I forget if it's the NBA or the NCAA or one of the basketball things decided, yeah, we're suspending games for the rest of the season. Just done.
I'm
Probably basketball.
yeah,
I
it's
said
it's
basketball. It's
I'm
just
pretty
there's-
sure it's
I mean, if I remember right, the NCAA is college and the NBA is professional.
Right.
I'm not sports people, but I think that's right. One of them said we're suspending our season for the rest of, yeah. So,
It's probably college basketball.
hang on.
you know, and I have to
Here
say,
we go.
I'm really glad that I did not like book any rooms or flights for any of the conventions this year. Can you imagine the hassle of not going, of canceling all of them?
Right. Yes. And
Oh, I'm so
3
glad
days.
that wasn't foresight, but I'm glad I didn't. Yeah.
Well, I suppose you could call it five sight. Really, it'd be even better than foresight. But here we go. We have from the NBA has an article. Faced with concerns and uncertainties over COVID-19 and the impact on its games, its business, and its extended family of players, coaches, and fans, the NBA suspended the 2019-2020 season Wednesday until further notice.
Oh.
Well, don't. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if it turned out that baseball does the same eventually.
Well, the opening day is pushed back 2 weeks at minimum.
Yeah.
And they specified at minimum. I mean, for all I know, the entire baseball season could go this year.
I would be surprised if
I was
any of the
curious.
sports have any games by the end of.
Hockey will keep going. I'm sure of it.
I mean, so,
But
this year that would
but-
be...
well, I was wondering how long this whole epidemic might last, because I don't know when we'll see the end in sight. So I looked it up, and most pandemics seem to last anywhere from 12 to 36 months. So this could be a while before we see the end of the coronavirus, at least as an emergency.
Yeah, okay. So I'm probably out $70. So,
You
what-
might be able to get a
Also,
refund.
you're probably going to die from coronavirus because you just wiped your nose.
Oh,
You touched
okay,
your
okay.
face. You
Yeah.
touched your face, and now you're going to infect all of us. Besides, it's going to mutate and become a computer virus. So now we're
Yeah.
all going to get it from
Oh
you
no.
by being on your show.
Yeah, and while
Oh
we're
my
at it
God, Lavender's
here,
contagious.
yeah, let's see. We're
Well,
we're gonna touch the face. Now I'm gonna.
right. You know, the sad part is, I almost guarantee you there's some jackass out there
Who's
who
gonna do that?
genuinely believes that computer viruses can infect humans. You just
Mhm.
know someone believes that, and so they're staying offline as much as possible to not get corona.
There you go.
Hmm.
Well, the fewer idiots we have online, the better. So that would help a little bit.
Well, yeah, but if all the idiots went away online, there'd be 5 of us
Well,
left.
wasn't it Nathan Thompson who
And
was
3 of those are my own aliases.
Nathan Thompson in jail recently? The
Who's-
guy, wasn't that who it was?
What do you do?
Well, all these prisons are now concerned about people being exposed to coronavirus. So now, of course, Nathan Thompson is considered contagious.
Who's Nathan Thompson?
Oh, he's a flat earther who
That would
went running
explain
around
why-
to a school recently, um, and basically spewing his bullshit, and the teachers told him to go away, and he was calling preteens young adults.
Oh, him. Now I get
Yes,
it. Yes,
him.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I'd say I don't really pay attention to flurfers, so that's why I didn't know the
Yeah.
name. I find them to be a mildly amusing diversion at best. At best. Because honestly, like let's suppose there's a flat earther
They're
out there
trolls.
who is that convinced that they're right. What are they
Yeah.
going to do? How are they going to affect anything? They're just goofy conspiracy theorists like Bigfoot people.
They're trolls.
Well, okay, so why do we even pay attention to them? Just because it's fun to pwn a jackass? What?
Yeah, that's
Something
the
like
way a lot of them do. Yeah, and then well, of course, as far as the Bigfoot goes, Bigfoot exists. You know, you and I know
Yeah, I've
him.
seen
We've
him
met him.
smashing cars.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I've seen him smashing cars in videos, you know, the truck. I mean, I'll just be over here.
Not to mention he likes to eat jerky.
Okay.
Oh, you guys apparently haven't seen the Jack Links commercials recently.
Well, I don't watch television, remember.
Yeah, well, they've got a Bigfoot as the spokesperson now.
Oh yay!
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's where that sound's coming from. Hey, Xander. He's
Oh,
hiding
my.
behind, like I showed you last time, my green screen that folds out. He's hiding behind it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, but he likes to mew a fair bit. So, although he makes that little blurt sound that cats do, you know, where it's not, yeah, that. And he does that a lot
questioning
more.
sound.
Well, I remember Heinlein book, The Cat Who Walks Through Walls, and he spelled it as blurt, Blert, blurt.
Mhm.
So I've been calling it that since high school.
Yeah.
It is
Okay.
actually kind of funny to like look at foreign languages and the way they do like the onomatopoeia of animal noises. You know, I mean, because I seem to remember there was an episode of The Big Bang Theory where they were taking the Soft Kitty song and singing it in other languages. And I think it was German. Purring was called snert. like apparently it's not purr, it's snert. The cat is snurting.
Oh,
Which I think is
okay. That's
I
interesting.
think-
I like that.
And I'm trying to remember what no chewing on the cords, silly muppet. But I seem to recall like the barking sounds for dogs is something like bow bow or something. But that might be Asian, like Chinese or Japanese or something. But it's always kind of interesting the way people spell like animal noises.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here
Also,
we go.
you know what's actually extraordinarily silly looking is a moose with no antlers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
here
I
we go.
know.
Well, they lost their antlers because they became moose lunchers.
Yes.
Hmm.
Uh,
You know, I still say, as do a lot of people, that the plural of moose ought to be meese.
Mm.
okay, that
I mean,
works.
if the plural of goose is geese, the plural of moose has to be meese.
Hmm. Don't know.
Well, it makes sense.
Yes,
That's
it
all.
does. And if the plural of mouse is mice, then the plural of house must be heis. Yeah,
Mhm.
now we're doing the Ogden Nash thing over here. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I just found auf Deutsch per is schnurren.
Hmm. I have to say, soft kitty translated into
Oh, he
Mandarin
is.
sounds hilarious.
He is so trying to climb on your shoulder.
Yes. Oh, all right. Well, get back here, you. There we are. Now you're a shoulder kitty.
Yeah, and there's
Yeah.
this kitty butt facing the camera. Great shot
Uh,
there, Xander.
well,
Well,
you know, it's because he was only just a couple of days ago neutered, and it still looks like he has a nut sack, but apparently it's just swollen.
Yeah, that'll disappear over time.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And seriously,
His
Xander,
body will
stop
reabsorb
chewing
the
on
skin.
cables. Stop
Yeah.
chewing on cables. That's not for you.
Yeah, as he heals, his body will reabsorb that skin.
Mm.
Yeah, the
But it definitely looks like it's still got nards.
the little one, she's amazing. You know, with the kitty butt thing. I'll wake up occasionally, and there's this kitty butt in my face. She always has to lie that way. She can't lie with her face near me. My face.
Xander,
It has to be the cat ass by my
don't
face.
make me take the bottle to you. I
But
will spray you if you don't stop eating the cord.
No.
I was asleep most of yesterday. Unfortunately, it's just I can't tell
Okay, that's it.
whether it's that I'm under the weather or if I just don't want to get out of bed. I'm not sure which one. And the
Are
little,
we always under the weather unless we're in a plane or something?
pretty much, yes.
Yeah.
I've been above a lot of weather at some points, but not above all of it. Yeah.
Hmm.
But the little one was
Oh.
curled up with me all through the sleeping yesterday,
Hmm.
which was nice of her. It was nice to have some company.
Yeah. Mine, Smudge lays at my feet when I sleep. He will sleep at the foot of the bed. Or, if he's not at the foot of the bed, he's on my pillow. And
Okay.
yesterday he decided to come up and lay with his head on my head.
Oh
He
my.
doesn't, but he was trying to find a comfortable way to put his face on mine, and he just couldn't find it, so eventually he just moved back to my feet. But the biggest issue I have with that is when I'm sleeping and I try to roll over and put my one foot down, and he's right there, and it's like, kick, arc. Gotta readjust my feet for a new position.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of sleeping straight up and down on the bed now, I end up sleeping diagonally.
Okay then. Oh my. I don't do this very much anymore, but gods, I used to wake up in a random position on the bed. I would always fall asleep with the head on the pillow and the feet at the foot of the bed. Sometimes I'd wake up with my head at the foot of the bed, the feet on the pillow. Sometimes diagonally, once or twice on the floor.
Oh my goodness.
See, apparently I sleep like a brick. Like one of my exes used to tell me, she was like, if it weren't for the fact that I can see you breathing, I'd think you were dead. Like, I do not move when I sleep, like, at all.
Let's hope you curl up in a comfortable position because you could put your arms and legs to sleep like that.
Oh, I've woken up like that with a numb arm, and it sucked so hard, especially when the feeling came back.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it hurts like a motherfucker.
I don't often do that, but yeah, I've done it before. But I sleep with a body pillow because I can't sleep on my stomach. So I curl up with the body pillow, and as I'm changing positions, I will pull the body pillow over my body and then curl up on the other side.
How weird would it be if you didn't put your body pillow on your body? It's right in the name.
Yeah.
But
it's ever since I got married and then divorced, I had to have something to cuddle with when I sleep, and my stuffed animals aren't big enough. So
you know that comic I'm
Yes,
working on?
yes.
I have a feeling that if anyone, you'll appreciate this one the most,
okay,
Diana.
hold on.
Alrighty. Okay, last. Okay.
I could just read it. William Howard Taft in 1893 was the last president with a full beard. Not since 1931 has there been an American president with any facial hair. Our next president should grow a full-on Santa Claus ZZ Top Mountain Man Merlin beard, or have one installed if it's a chick. Right? And given like you have this history fetish, I figured of anyone you'd appreciate the historical references to presidents.
There we go. There we go. God, it's amazing. Yeah, when I think about it, that it has been that long since we've had a president with any facial hair at all.
Well,
It's just socially unacceptable these days. I mean, it's until like the 90s hit and the whole Gen X growing a Van Dyke or a goatee thing happened. You know, people would just like shave no matter what automatically, as if it was like culturally necessary in some fashion.
makes you wonder. Maybe it was.
Oh, I mean, it's a weird little factoid that I find odd. In fact, I find a lot of human culture just plain weird.
Well, when you think about it, in back in the 17 and 1800s, having a beard was considered a sign of manhood.
Oh, I used to be in a D&D group where the dungeon master dude said, I grow a beard specifically to remind myself I'm a man. And I'm like, do you really need a beard for that? I'm
really?
fairly convinced there are other signs of your masculinity than chin
Yeah.
I really
exactly.
gotta say. So
Right. Well, but that was considered a rite of passage to grow a beard.
well, and isn't there a thing like with Muslims where until they're either married or having a kid, they shave the mustache but leave the beard? Or maybe that's with the Amish. I don't know, but there's
I
some
don't know.
culture where the mustache indicates something, but the beard is always. Like they always have the beard, but you only grow the mustache as a sign of I accomplished this social thing. And
It
I'm
might
sure it's
be-
either marriage or children or both.
It might be the Amish then, because I remember that weird looking, to me anyway, mustacheless beard that I would see on many of the Amish.
But did any of them have the mustache?
That one
The older elves.
That one I cannot remember.
Because I think it's the Muslim thing to, yeah. Although there was this one Muslim dude, some sheik or whatever. I don't fucking know their ranks anymore. I can't keep track of it. But he said that men should grow beards because if they're shaved, they look too much like women and will tempt people into homosexuality.
Oh Lord.
I know these people are so dumb. It's like they make up these legends that have no basis in reality and then insist that their society be built around them. It's just so bizarre to me. Um, I want to know if this particular guy who's spouting this rule has ever been attracted to to a shaven man.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, but what if he hasn't? You know, like does he think he's immune, or does he know he's spouting bullshit and doesn't care, or what? I don't know what his rationale is if he has one, but I mean, it's just so bizarre to me.
Yeah.
Now, this is interesting. This Wikipedia page here includes sideburns as facial hair. And when they do that, they include Gerald Ford and Jimmy Carter.
Oh. Nah, I mean, okay, if we're talking mutton chops, yes. But
Not
if
these
it's
guys, no.
But if it's not past the earlobe, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm reasonably sure that the inclusion of sideburns anyway, like yours, not past the earlobe, I think they're doing that, and I think that's invalid personally. But
I always thought.
I mean, it's. I'm sorry, but this right here is not the face. Yes, no. Like if it's not the cheek, it's not the face.
Mm-hmm.
It's not along the chin line and cheek. It should not be counted as a beard.
One of those other comics that I was working on, I'm not going to show it, but the joke, people refer to songs as numbers. Like, I'm going to play this little number for you.
Yeah, okay.
I figured out why they call it that. It's because when they start playing the song, they go, and a 1, and a 2.
Uh-huh.
That's why it's a number. Gotta be.
No, I actually have a theory on that.
Okay.
Well, but it's also a joke, so you're not supposed to know the reality. It's just silly.
Okay, well, I was thinking jukeboxes, numbers.
I'm pretty sure that this idea predates jukeboxes.
I'm reasonably sure it does as well, because I know that the score of Handel's Messiah, the various sub-pieces in there have numbers.
Right.
I believe the Hallelujah chorus is number 43.
Beethoven's Fifth Symphony.
Opus 16 of this, that, or the other thing. Yeah, I guess that could be it too. Although usually when someone says, I'm going to play this number for you, it's more popular music. You know what I mean? It's rarely the orchestral requires a conductor kind of music.
Well, I know there's a story from some of the guys that played with Les Brown, is that some of the...
Who's that?
Okay, Les Brown was one of the last big band leaders. This was into the 50s. Gotcha. Doris Day sang for him, as a matter of fact. And there was a story that most of Brown's catalog did not have names. They only had numbers.
Huh.
Okay. Gail Dines, according to Mr. Shadow Kitty, Gail Dines claims that women shaving pubic hair will turn men into pedophiles.
Oh, that's just so stupid.
Oh, for the love of St.
I'm
Kulik.
pretty sure that either you are a pedophile or you're not. I'm not sure it's something that you can develop.
Dines. Oh.
This is the interesting thing. It's so sad that you really cannot do any research into any of this, or research into what do you want to call it, interventions, treatments, whatever. Do you remember you were on the show, right, where I was doing, it was called No...
Okay, there's two potential U's. Which one do you mean?
You, Kate. The one where supposedly this pedophile group was claiming that they wanted a stripe on the LGBT flag, or they wanted their... I think I called it No, They Don't Want Their Own Flag, or something like that. And the German woman who advanced her theory, or whatever it is, about intervention was soundly trounced by everyone, because she was dealing with, well, as she called them, MAPs, minor attracted persons. And you still hear it now that, well, minor attracted person is just another way of saying pedophile, and the whole thing like this.
Well, is NAMBLA still a thing?
I don't know. I really don't. I haven't heard the acronym in a long time, but they
Yeah, me
may be
neither.
out
That's why I
there.
asked.
Yeah. Um,
So, okay, in music, number refers to an individual song, dance, or instrumental piece which is part of a larger work of musical theater, opera, or oratorio. That's what it says.
yes.
It can also refer either to an individual song in a published collection or an individual song or dance in a performance of several unrelated musical pieces, as in concerts and reviews. Both meanings of the terms have been used in American English since the second half of the 19th century, but it doesn't still really say why. It just says the occasions in which. Yeah, well, okay. In musical theater, the lyrics of the individual song numbers are integrated with the narrative of the libretto or book. As early as 1917, Jerome Kern wrote that musical numbers should carry on the action of the play and should be representative of the personalities of the characters who sing them. By the way, I totally agree. It should carry on the action of the play, not to
Mm-hmm.
bloviate about one particular, whatever, you've heard me say it before. Oscar Hammerstein, another proponent of this view, even refused to list the numbers in Rosemarie because he thought it would detract from what he viewed as the close integration between the book and the lyrics. They're really not giving an explanation for the term, they're just describing its usage.
Okay.
That's frustrating. Oh well, whatevs.
Fu. Yeah, it's I don't know its deep history or anything like that. The earliest I know of numbers being assigned to any parts of pieces, as I say, is the Messiah. I have
Right, but I mean that's like, oh, this song is Opus 8675309, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, okay, but when you get up on stage and say, I'm going to do this little number for you, someone somewhere had to do that the first time to
yeah,
say that
yeah.
this is a number the first time. And I'm wondering why they were inspired to say number. And it doesn't say.
Yeah, okay. I get you. Now, this is interesting. You had asked before, was NAMBLA even a thing anymore? According to the Font of All Knowledge, and their um, article, whatever you want to call it, is certainly not dispassionate. Um, as I believe all articles like this should be, encyclopedic articles, that sort of thing. All of them should be dispassionate. Now, of course, they slant their language slightly in opposition to NAMBLA. Well, there's nothing good to say about NAMBLA as far as I'm concerned. But
Yeah.
the group no longer holds regular national meetings, and as of the late 1990s, to avoid local police infiltration, the organization discouraged the formation of local chapters. Around 1995, an undercover detective discovered that there were 1,100 people on the organization's rolls. NAMBLA was the largest group in IPCE, an international pro-pedophile activist organization. Since then, the organization has dwindled to only a handful of people, with many members joining online pedophile networks, according to Xavier von Erich, Erk, director of operations at the anti-pedophile organization Perverted Justice. As of 2005, a newspaper report stated that NAMBLA was based in New York and San Francisco. So it sounds like they are a ghost of their former selves.
It does. Now, I mean, I know we have a lot of legal definitions of like statutory rape and all that stuff, and I mean, I agree with most of it just because it's protective. But at the same time, I like, if we look outside of the legal definitions of these things, like, a minor is not allowed to consent, this, that, and the other thing. But I wonder how many minors did consent to do this with NAMBLA members in the not legal sense. How many
In
of
the
them said
functional
no?
sense, yes. In other words, how many of them said, hey, this sounds like fun, and then decided that
Yeah.
it was fun? It's
Yeah.
going to be, unfortunately, impossible to tell.
Of course. Of
Because
course. But
when the young man says, "Yeah, I went into it voluntarily and I liked it," he's not going to be believed. Um,
well, I mean that's the thing is I'm willing to take some people at their word if they can sell what they're saying. I mean, if he has like some shifty-eyed look, like if I don't say this, I'm going to get beaten up or killed by the people I might hurt by not saying it. Okay, then I'm going to be like, yeah, you definitely did not consent. But I mean, like you remember, and this is a little bit off topic, but not at all. What's her face? Mary Kay Letourneau, I think it was, and Billy Fallow or whatever, the teacher who fell in love with her student and they had a
oh,
child together and
yeah,
then
yeah,
got
yeah, yeah,
married.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, that, I mean, clearly he went into that like completely willingly,
yeah.
you
Isn't
know?
he the one that? Okay, wasn't that the case where there was a court order that she could not have any interaction with him while he was a minor, and it was
Hmm.
some years before he achieved the age of majority, and then they still got married.
Oh yeah, they did. I
Yeah, so
think they might be divorced now. I was reading about them because I got curious,
okay,
and I'm pretty sure they got divorced, but they were together for a good long time, and I think they even had a second child together. I'll have to look that up
that
again.
sounds
But
familiar.
I
Yeah.
mean,
No,
clearly there are cases where I mean, it's obviously knowingly consensual between both parties, but the law got in the way of them, like time got in the way of them. Like if they had been born on the same year, they probably would have had essentially the same result. So I mean, I'm not in favor of like minors and adults getting together, but at the same time, I have to wonder how many of them full on wanted to, had their eyes completely open, knowing exactly what they were doing. There was no coercion, this, that, and the other thing. I have to wonder how often that's happened.
yes, and I as well wonder, and it's unfortunate that it will essentially forever be an open question
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
nobody's allowed to talk about. I mean, you can't even talk about it in sanitary, medical, psychological terms. People jump down your throat.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that people's lizard brain kicks in. I mean, there have been times I've wanted to talk about other issues where I'm like, I can kind of get the other side. Oh my gosh, you're in support of this, that, or the other thing. I'm like, no, I just understand where they're coming from. So you approve of it? No, I don't approve it.
right.
Oh, merciful Zeus! It's so hard to have conversations with people sometimes.
What I wish is that there could be enough talking about it because there are people, there have to be people who say, okay, I really have these thoughts about kids. I am a pedophile. I want treatment. And they can't get it. This woman of whom I speak, the one who gave the TED talk, mentioned that. She mentioned that, and in so
Well,
many cases, you mentioned to a psychiatrist or whatever, I want treatment for this problem I have. What's the problem? Pedophilia. Bye.
I don't remember that, but I mean that's the thing though when you think about it. I mean, what if pedophilia is another sexuality, like homosexuality or
That's
bisexuality or any of that? And we see how well gay conversion therapy works, right? Which is to say
yeah.
not at all.
Hmm.
So if we're trying to train people out of being pedophiles, it may be more damaging, but you
Yeah.
also can't let them do what they want to do
Right. Because
because
it is
it
that is
doesn't
damaging. Yes.
right. So I
Absolutely.
mean these poor fuckers are in a really untenable position. What can you do? And it's hard to not feel for them because their world will never be acceptable at all with good reason, but at the same time imagine living that life. I mean, it's got to be pretty horrible to have something in your head like that to have those feelings and be not allowed to do a damn thing to make yourself happy. It's got to suck.
Oh,
It's got to suck pretty
absolutely.
hard.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, obviously, we can't let them just run around screwing kids willy-nilly.
Right. I mean, that's as damaging at least as them not being able to have some sort of treatment or therapy or whatever. Coping skills, for Christ's sake.
Mhm.
Oh,
I mean, maybe, I mean, I don't know if it would work at all, but you know how they have those like real dolls that you can have sex with? I mean, if
yes.
they came in toddler versions, maybe these people could get their rocks off that way.
The idea has been advanced, and people jump all over it because,
We're enabling them.
yes, pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, I would love to get help for people who can't help themselves. You know what I mean? It's like we treat addicts because they can't help themselves. Why not sex offenders who, honestly, if they had an outlet, if they had a way to release the bullshit that drives them, maybe they wouldn't be committing it on other people.
Right, and you cannot even research that because any mention of in the research, any mention of what you're researching runs into overwhelming opposition.
Which is funny, like, you know what's weirdly more acceptable is rape fantasy between couples. Where you
Yeah.
oh, but that's totally a thing. Like the
Yeah.
husband or whatever will put on a ski mask and he'll break into the house, and the wife plays the part of the victim and all this stuff. And if it goes too far, they have a safe word, flugelhorn, not okay, that kind of thing. And so I mean that's a thing, and that's way more acceptable, apparently.
Apparently, yes, and
Than getting actual help for pedophiles. Pretending to rape your spouse is more acceptable.
Yeah.
hey, Amiga Nuts. Well, you missed a few things, but that's okay. The panel right now is talking about. Somehow we got on the subject of pedophilia. Nambla came
Yeah.
up somehow. I forget how that came up.
Yeah, I
Gail
don't.
Dines
Okay.
comment.
Okay.
Right.
And
Yeah, and I mean, just finding a way to treat pedophiles so that they
I mean,
aren't
there's
harming children, but at the same
yeah.
time aren't being treated the same way folks treat gays in gay conversion therapy. To make a life livable without harming others when you
Yeah.
can't control your desires. We're theorizing, hypothesizing about ways to make that easier on people.
Well, I mean, we've got all sorts of ways to help people. Why do we not do this?
Well, because people can't disengage their emotions enough to have either the compassion or the empathy or any of that for people they don't understand. It doesn't even matter. Like, they may not be harming people. Lesbianism harms nobody. Everyone is
Exactly.
consenting to everything, but
Hmm.
for a good long time, you could not admit to being homosexual without possibly opening yourself up to violence,
I
certainly opening
know.
yourself up to scorn, ridicule, and
Hmm.
all of that shunning. And I mean, it's just people have these reactions to things that are so out of proportion and like unjustifiable.
Right. I
uh,
mean, there are definitely worse things to be than gay or homosexual, and that's been around for ages.
well, I mean,
You
that's
know.
another thing is
that's
people have
been
so many
around
hang-ups
since.
about sex.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean, like
been.
Hmm.
like you listen to a homophobe talk about homosexuality, and all they ever talk about is, oh, these two people are fucking. They never
Yeah.
even think about the fact that they fall in love. They
Yeah.
might get out
Yeah.
together. They might like, they make shopping lists. They go out to the
Right.
supermarket. They
They're a
do the things
family.
of life, But of course, if they're not talking about fucking, they're like, oh, you're gonna have they're gonna adopt a child. That can't be allowed because then they'll be raised gay and blah 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 blah. blah.
Yeah, I
And never
know.
mind that like homosexuals tend to be the most open, you do you, be yourself kind of people.
Yeah.
If my kid happens to be straight, even though I'm not, well, let him be. I'm not going to
Yeah.
say, no, you have to, same
Yeah.
sex for you only. No one does that. But you listen to the homophobes talking about
Yeah.
it, and they
Mhm.
think that it's all like, sex den orgies and making kids gay. They're
Right.
idiots.
Well,
But what can you do?
unfortunately, I
You
think
can't have the rational conversation.
Yeah.
some of them have their brains full of Fire Island, which was one big orgy for years and years. We know that. But then, as you say, they lose sight of the fact that 99 and 44 100% of all of this is perfectly normal stuff, except
Right.
you've got same sex rather than different sex. And
Right.
Well, another thing I noticed, they're always concerned about the guys,
they pay very little
because guys
attention
on,
to the girls. Yeah.
well, I mean, that's because guys on guys is gross, but girls on girls is hot because they're more girls, But I mean, and how many times do
Uh,
you hear about the straight guy who thinks he'll get his straight girlfriend hot by showing her lesbian sex? It's bizarre. But I mean,
Yeah.
even if
Yeah.
they were to focus on lesbianism, even if the fact is that lesbian bed death is a thing. That of all the sexual, like, or at least the major sexual orientations, lesbians have the least sex, the least drive for sex, and believe me, I understand.
Mm.
Okay.
Also lesbian sex in porn is nothing like lesbian sex in real life.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-mm.
Granted, definitely. Oh my, oh my. Where was I gonna go with this? I forget. I'm having a blonde moment.
Yeah, homosexuality, according to Amiga Nets, has certain evolutionary advantages for families, especially large ones. Depends on if you want to cut down the number of children
Well, I mean, isn't
that
there a
are
thing where, like, the
born.
more kids you have, the more likely they are to be gay?
I don't know.
I don't know. I only have one, so I don't know.
Well, I swear I read that somewhere. But I mean, like, overpopulation on this planet is definitely a
Yeah.
thing. If homosexuality is natural selection for like, population control of some sort, then
Possible.
I mean, you hear the religious people going, oh, sex should only be for procreation. Well, maybe that's a bad thing to procreate so much.
Well,
Yeah.
they don't think about that because with each of the religions, their whole modus operandi is to breed all the other religions out of existence. Outnumber everybody.
Well, also to bring about the end of the world. But
Oh, well,
that's
that
another
too.
issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I suddenly lost track of Xander. He hadn't been making noise in quite some time, but he's asleep on the kitty tree.
Oh,
Columbia, on the other hand, is right
Yeah, I
here.
can see her ears.
Yeah.
We can see the back of her head.
kitty.
So no, the thing is that I don't know what it is about the kitty tree. There are multiple levels. There's like a level here, a small clubhouse, like an enclosed clubhouse here, and then another level, and then another level above that. But both Columbia and Xander will only be on this one. And so right now, Xander appears to have usurped Columbia's spot. I think the reason for it, though, is that the upper level doesn't really get the sun from the window.
Yeah. Tornado is sleeping, Amiga.
If I got rid of that table finally, and I've been procrastinating, and then moved the kitty tree over a couple of steps, they might use the top.
Or just move the table.
No, it's as far as it can possibly go right now.
No, I mean just somewhere else.
There's
Not.
nowhere else.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Nowhere else in
so
the apartment to put it.
it
Okay.
sounds, Kate, like you're slowly defurniturizing your abode.
Well, the table that's over there that I haven't gotten rid of was in the way of playing VR.
Oh, okay.
So I
Well,
got rid of both a couch and now soon that table, specifically so that I wasn't constantly smacking into either one when I couldn't see where they were.
Mm. Okay.
Beach, hi.
I mean, right now, like, because it's not warm out there and it's also not sunny out there, I can't go
Oh.
rollerblading. My only real source of exercise is playing VR sports.
Yeah,
So,
it's in the 80s already here.
no, the 80s was like 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah. Still, it's 80 degrees outside.
Well, I mean, it's actually kind of warmish out there. It depends, but cloudy skies are definitely a thing in certain parts of the San Diego
Yeah.
year. In fact, the proportion of cloudy days to sunny days are almost exactly reversed from Seattle. Because
Oh.
Seattle would have about 2.5 months of sun out of the year. Here, we have 2.5 months of gray.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, May gray and June gloom are a thing here, but it's not exclusive to those months.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, our rainy season will be coming up here in a couple months, and we will have the daily 2 o'clock shower.
Okay,
Okay.
then, yeah.
Yeah, you could almost set your clock by uh in like May, June, May through October of a 2 o'clock in the afternoon shower. You will get rain every day.
Now here
You
it's
know,
35 and cloudy here.
when I yawn and cover my mouth, I always make sure to do it like this because honestly, this looks like you're giving a blowjob.
No, I don't want to do
Oh
that.
my god.
Oh, my
Ah.
word.
I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
35 and cloudy here,
Well,
damn it.
there is a really amusing image of all people, Sarah Palin, where she's like at a campaign rally and she's got her fists up here and she's yelling, and the caption says "3 invisible dicks."
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
Oh god.
yeah. So I definitely never did. No, it's like this. Damn.
Oh, my.
And I guess I understand like coughing or sneezing into your Krellbo, but it feels really unnatural to me.
Yeah. It is 82 degrees outside right now.
Well, aren't the powers that be now recommending sneezing into the Krellbo?
Yes. Well, they
Okay.
always have, especially if what you call it, like you're in the medical profession, because you really want to keep your hands very clean. I mean, you're still going to wear gloves, but it doesn't matter, you know. Like you should not do this if you are treating potentially sick or compromised people.
Okay,
Hold on, I
then.
okay. Sorry, a friend of mine who used to live in San Diego, but he's in the Navy, got transferred to Italy, of all places. And you know how
Oh,
Italy
yay!
botched the unholy fuck out of the coronavirus. So I had to ask him if he was okay. He finally answered.
Well, that's
Oh,
good.
good. So he's not
Yeah.
dead.
It's
yeah,
weird.
they
Like whenever I
have-
move to a place, I almost inevitably find someone who, regardless of their actual age relative to mine, ends up being like the big brother from another mother, right? And that was Tom, who moved to Italy because he got to work under an admiral, which is a big deal.
Yes.
Right. So the fact that he left kind of stinks. Back in Seattle, that was Robin. He was a great guy. And when I mentioned to him that he sort of filled the role of Big Brother, he's like, but I'm younger than you. I'm like, it doesn't matter. You're still taking on that role. So I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to remember exactly what it's called now, but there is sort of the phenomenon of the dyke who has a male friend or the male friend who has like their best friend is a lesbian or whatever. And there's a term for it. And I cannot remember it for the life of me.
Don't know.
Yeah. It's like, when a gay guy marries a woman specifically to appear to not be gay and they call it
beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's a word like that for the male friend of a lesbian. I cannot remember what it is.
Oh, well, let's look it up.
Let's see. Okay, no. Oh, fag hag. That's
that's something else.
That's the woman who likes the
she hangs around gay guys.
Right.
And I think a lot of it is because she doesn't feel threatened.
Right, but man,
Fag stag.
What?
Fag stag.
Oh, I don't. Are you sure?
No,
that doesn't sound right either.
Any maybe friends? The slang term is Dutch boy. Dutch boy, lesbro, or dyke tyke.
Okay, yeah, I could not for the life of it because I haven't had to say it in a very long time, and I just completely forgot it. Yeah.
Dyke tyke, yeah.
Well, in any case, so I've had a lot of those. It seems like I just sort of naturally attract them, and I'm pretty okay with it, but it's still a thing, and I wanted to make sure that this particular Big Brother was okay, and I guess he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Although I like the Dutch boy comment. That's always funny.
But anyway. Yeah, ich diddly out and dut and bud out and skitter dot and wad out and chew.
Exactly.
I don't know. I need to come up with a better I don't speak that language thing to say. I don't know. I mean, like, what were you speaking? Was that German or was that the Slavic-y thing?
Oh, Daprozhnie? Oh, that's actually
Russian. Actually,
it actually is.
Okay, in that case, let's see if I can remember how to do this. Watashi wa Rosiago o skoshi nasemasen.
Okay, then.
You speak very little Russian.
Yes.
What's really funny is I started doing Daprozhnie because it just sounded like fun, and it turned out that in Russian it translates as yes fermentation.
That. Oh yeah, I seem to remember. Okay, you know who Dave Barry is, the writer.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well, he had a thing where he went to Japan and he tried to speak Japanese to like a waiter or something to say like he wanted to say thank you, and his son looks at him and he goes, "Dad, you just said to him very much good morning, sir." And yeah. I think what I need to figure out, I used to, like, how I was trying to learn Klingon and what a pain in the ass. I really should just figure out how to say I don't understand in Klingon.
Yeah, no, I always liked learning Japanese when we were over there. Some of the things that you can come up with to help remember how to say something is hysterical. Like you're welcome in Japanese, do itashimashite, right? Don't touch my mustache.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's the interesting thing though, when you think about those mnemonics.
Oh, of course I know how to fucking say that. Sorry, I looked up how to say I don't understand in Klingon and Jiajbe.
Jiajbe?
No, Jiajbe.
Jiajbe.
Yes. Let me see if it changes if I do. I don't understand you. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. But whatever. I think from now on, if someone speaks a foreign language I don't understand, my reply will be Jiajbe.
Jiajbe.
Okay, then.
Well, actually, though, it's not just Jiajbe, it's Jiajbe. There's a glottal stop at the end of it.
Jiajbe.
Jiajbe.
Well, the one thing I liked, you know who Spirit Science is?
The name's
Yes.
familiar,
He's
but
that
no.
he's that kid that believes everything. He's really, really into the woo. That whole thing. Mortimer 81, if you know him,
Sure.
started doing responses to Spirit Science's stuff. He's been doing this for 6 years now. There was one thing that Jordan came up with. Jordan is Spirit Science, by the way.
Jordan Peterson?
Jordan Dubnitz. Well, actually,
Okay.
many names. Jordan Dubnitz, Jordan Pierce, another name.
I just need to. There's too many Jordans out there. I
Yeah.
need you to be more distinct.
In one of his stupid films, he described two alien races, space alien races, coming to Earth, one of which was the Hebrews. And Marty, does Jews are from space? Well, wait a minute.
That was the end of a Mel Brooks movie.
There you
Yeah.
are. Yeah, wait a minute. I always thought that Hebrew sounded like Klingon. Was his line? Well, that was his line. He was trying to be funny, but yeah.
I mean, okay, if he means Jewish, like Yiddish, sounds like Klingon. Hebrew sound like the language sounds like Klingon. Okay, but the word Hebrew doesn't.
Oh no, he meant the language. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, that's my
I mean, it
story
kinda
for the
does.
day.
There is a lot of that gargling phlegm sound in Klingon.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I used to be able to sing the. Yeah, I used to be able to sing the Kol Nidre, for example, and wow, some of the things you had to do with your throat just to get that out.
Well, I seem to remember my mom telling me a story about someone, and I forget if it was a member of her family or a celebrity who was saying it. I forget. But, there's this like Jewish uncle or grandfather where he couldn't remember all of the like Yiddish names for like the food and all of this stuff. So when he wanted something, he'd just go, "Oh, honey, could you pass the hoch?" That was it. Everything he didn't know in Yiddish was the hoch.
So, more or less translated to stuff.
More or less, yeah,
Okay,
or
okay.
that. But, yeah. So that was a thing, and I think I've told this story before. I don't remember, but like in the Blues Brothers, there's this one dude with like the scene where they're in the steam room and they're trying to convince the one guy to book a show for them.
Yeah.
And he says like, okay, so like, what are you going to do? You going to do the same act, sing the same songs, or the same verkakta suits, right? And I have never heard the word verkakta before. And the way he said it, it sounded like folkakta, which to my brain sounded Italian. And so I thought their suits were like Italian suits that were special by Italians or something. I had no fucking clue, right? In fact, that movie is riddled with things I didn't hear properly and only found out when it came out on disc what people were saying because I could turn on the subtitles. Like when the Nazi characters were talking to each other, there was this one dude who apparently was a group leader or Gruppenführer, right? Where
yeah.
character would shout out Gruppenführer, but the way he did it, it sounded like, to my ear, Repicure. And I thought that was the guy's last name, that he was shouting for Repicure.
Okay.
I had no idea because I didn't speak German. I didn't know what Gruppenführer meant. And the first time I saw the Blues Brothers, my age wasn't even in the double digits yet. Mm-hmm. So for years, I thought, and then I finally turned on the subtitles. I saw Gruppenführer. I looked it up on Google, which probably now thinks I'm a Nazi. But 'cause you know how their engine works.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And so, but now I know it's just weird that there are times when I think that the like words I mishear would make really good like names for aliens or foreign races or something.
Mm.
There's a song, an Irish drinking song called Black Velvet Band, where part of the song is you're going to Van Diemen's Land, which, as I understand, is like a prison island or some shit. Van Diemen's Land. But the way they would sing it, it sounded like Van Diemen's Land. And so I made up this whole legend in my head of the Bandyman who will come to get you, kind of like Candyman, like
Mm.
it's a horror movie. So,
Okay,
I mean, there have
then.
been so many times I've misheard either foreign words or people garbled like terms I'd never heard before. And I totally want to use them as like alien races or monsters or some shit because they're
Mhm.
perfect. I'm just saying.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Could be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what the Bandyman is, but it totally sounds like a guy who did something horrible back in the 1800s and now he's a legend of like sort of a Jack the Ripper type, you know?
Oh,
Mhm.
my.
Now, Bandyman, I've heard that term.
I looked it up and it was nothing as near as I could tell, but let's see. Well, okay, according to the dictionary, it's the driver of a bandy, whatever the frell that is, a cart driver.
Hmm.
So, I mean, maybe the bandyman is a guy who, like, pulls the wagon when he's asking people to bring out their dead.
There you go. There you go.
You
I
know,
have
so,
no
like,
Creepy
quite
thought, but
dead
the
yeah.
bandyman is a
yet.
necromancer who raises a bunch of dead people, like, zombies were raised by the bandyman.
Hmm. So what are the what do you call the beings he raises?
Well, they're probably zombies.
Banders?
No, they're no. Besides, there is something out there called a Bandersnatch, which I think is a monster.
Yeah, that's part of Alice in Wonderland.
There you go. Yeah. So, I mean, maybe, but I just think they'd be like zombies or ghouls or some shit. They don't need a special name.
Hmm. I would think ghouls because he's raising them from the dead, but they're not
Well,
necessarily
there's.
falling apart.
Well, there are so many different kinds. I mean, a zombie can be
Yeah.
perfectly fresh for a good long time before they start
True.
to rot.
Yeah.
Well, there's some discussion among people who
Ghouls and whites and
I mean, some people who ridicule the alleged resurrection, that sort of thing. There are some who talk about the zombie Jesus, and then there are the others who correct them and say, no, Jesus wasn't a zombie; he was a lich.
Yeah.
So maybe you've
Yeah.
got those terms to throw around too.
yeah, but okay,
I mean, he's
liches
clearly not a
lich-
vampire because other people drink his blood.
Right,
Now
right.
a lich. Now that's oh, supposedly an undead mage.
Which kind of fits.
Mm,
Kind of.
Kinda. Depends.
Yeah, according to this little thing here in the font of all knowledge, funny how we all keep getting directed there. Um, is a type of undead creature. Often such a creature is the result of transformation as a powerful magician skilled in necromancy or a king striving for eternal life using spells or rituals to bind his intellect and soul to a
Yeah.
phylactery.
Yeah,
is-
phylactery.
What the hell is that?
phylactery, okay, normally it's like they use this in Dragon Age for the mages. It's a blood-filled vial.
So,
And
okay.
it's made to hold the blood is considered the essence of a person.
So,
So-
here we go.
Oh, so now we're into blood magic. Okay.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
okay,
That is
Jesus was
exactly-
not a zombie. He was not mindless, nor did he consume anyone, nor was he a ghoul or a wight. Although his soul and intellect were intact, he was not a rotting corpse. He was not a vampire. While he transubstantiated wine into blood, he never drank it from a person. Jesus was not a ghost or a wraith. He was corporeal and still had his wounds. It is clear Jesus was a lich.
Okay.
So, yeah. I mean, if you go through the checklist of undead, well, yeah. Actually, it goes into more detail on another one I'm looking here. It says, a lich is created when a powerful magician or king striving for eternal life uses spells or rituals to bind his soul to his animated corpse and thereby achieves immortality. Liches are depicted as being clearly cadaverous, their bodies still bearing the wounds they received before their death. Liches often have the power of necromancy, which allow them to bring the dead back to life. Boy, does that ever describe Jeebus.
Okay, yeah, I got you. Yeah, that's something.
Except for one problem.
What's that?
What?
He brought Lazarus back from the dead before he became a quote lich.
Well, he clearly still has the power to do it.
That's interesting though when you talk about that, because I've heard it said before, and it really is interesting. Once you get to John, it seems that resurrection is commonplace. Because you have the resurrection of Lazarus, you have the who was it that describes them as zombies walking around downtown Jerusalem? But yeah, it seems that it's almost mundane. It's almost profane. In other words, not sacred. Whereas in Mark, especially, it seems to be a very significant event. I mean, I don't know. Maybe this is something I'm going to have to look at because I do want to do some stuff for Easter, and I
always thought it was interesting that Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John all retell the same story.
Well, Matthew, Mark, and Luke especially retell the same story because God, they plagiarize from each. Well, they all plagiarize from Mark eventually, but.
Did you see the exchange? You mentioned John. Did you see the exchange I had on Twitter?
Oh my!
Yeah, here's a verse if you want it. John 6. Jesus loves you. I'm like, I don't know this John fellow, and I certainly doubt there's 2.3 of him unless he absorbed some triplets in the womb. Because 14/6 is 2.3, and I just I don't know. I found it amusing.
So did I, because I did see that one. Yes. Okay, now I have to look it up. Wait a minute, John.
What, 14:6?
It's a lame verse. It's like, whoever with
Oh, I am the way and the truth and the life. Yeah. The one I like was the one Bart Ehrman told, where he was doing, it was either a debate or a lecture. I think it was a debate. Was Jesus divine? And he said, well, clearly Jesus was divine because in John, whatever it is, he said, I am divine, you are the branches. And everybody.
Yeah, though, Jesus isn't divine because he never cross-dressed or starred in John Waters' movies. There's no way Jesus was divine. It's just not possible. I think the only time I've ever actually seen divine in anything was when my parents were like, they brought home Hairspray. And for whatever reason, I willingly sat down and watched it. And if I remember right, Divine played the mom in Hairspray.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
It's been
I'll have to look it up.
I never saw
time.
Hairspray.
Hairspray. It was like Ricky Lake in a musical set in like the 50s or some shit.
Yeah, with big poofy hair.
Let's see. Yeah, Divine played Edna Turnblad and Arvin Hodgepile. These are names. There we go. Yeah, Ricky Lake, Tracy Turnblad. There you go. Apparently, Debbie Harry played Velma Von Tussle. These are some fucked up names right here.
Wow.
Seriously. Link Larkin, Penny Pingleton. Someone was named Seaweed. Corny Collins. These are some fucked up names. Motormouth Maybell. I just
These are
whatever
names in the play or
in the movie. Yeah,
Okay, because I was going to say seaweed.
I don't. But yeah,
Okay.
so that's the only time I've actually seen Divine in anything, and honestly, I didn't care for the movie because you know my feelings on musicals. Um, I'm not sure I remember anything about it other than the color palettes. Because there was a lot of like pastels and a lot of pink going on in that movie.
Yeah.
Hey,
Everything I remember about it.
you. That's the 50s for you.
Hey, Amiga,
Well, yeah.
which word do you mean?
What divine? It's spelled like divine.
Oh no,
Like
Amiga Nut says, "How is that word spelled?" He said that about 4 minutes ago, and I lose track.
If you mean divine, it's spelled exactly like the word divine. You know, ooh, this taste was divine.
Divine.
Yeah, yeah.
Lich is spelled Lich.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no T in lich, although it sounds like there ought to be.
Okay,
You know,
then.
like how witch has a T in it. Lich, it seems reasonable to put the T in lich, but it's not there.
Okay, so it's somebody else's C.
Hmm?
It's yeah,
What?
it's not an American English C. It's somebody else's.
No, it's
What do you mean by that? It's Lich,
Lich.
lich.
Yeah. So in other words, I wonder which language was the origin of the word.
But the English does have ICH words. I don't know where you're getting the it must be another language part. I mean, it probably is, but basing that on the
I'm
CH,
thinking
on the
probably
ICH, that doesn't make
German.
sense. Doesn't sound German to me.
Oh, okay. It says it's from Old English, so it's
There you go.
pretty damn close to German.
Well, but still, I mean, the point being it is English. English does have ICH words.
Yeah. So this is a C that didn't mutate into what we have now. Okay. Yeah. It's because I can hear a slight difference between um, a lone CH and a TCH. But of course, remember that my ears are weird.
Yes,
Which
we
word
know.
were you asking about, though, Amiga?
That's what I was asking Amiga. Yeah.
So here's a
History
thought
class.
that is
Cool.
here's a thought that has occupied my brain many times.
Oh, we have a naked person in the chat.
Not for long. Hi, Catherine. Yay! How is you is?
She's saying here, history class in school is just plain unfair. We keep making more of it every day. Eventually, school will be nothing but history class. It's kind of like oldies music. The ratio of oldies to new music just keeps growing constantly. How does anyone keep up? That
I
thought
like
has
it. I
inhabited
like
my
it.
brain since for freaking ever, and I had to get it out there. And when I mean forever, I mean like high school.
Look at that.
Ouch.
Well, that's not quite as forever as it is for yours truly, but yeah, it is kind of forever.
Yeah. Multiple decades is forever enough in my world.
Yeah.
What really makes me shudder when I think about it, which is as little as possible, is that in 4 years it's gonna be 50 years since I graduated high school.
So, one of the comics that I made, I get away with saying a very, very, very dirty word, and you have to know sign language to get it. 'Cause,
Okay.
yeah, you see what she's doing right here, if you know sign language,
Are you
that
calling
is
somebody a cunt?
well, no, but that is what it means.
Yeah.
Right. Actually, it's about guys giving their left nut, and she's like, "Can I give a left ovary?" So, yeah. But I'm getting away with saying a very naughty word.
Yay!
Because how many people are going to know that? You know, I mean, just in the general public, I would imagine not very many, because how many people know any sign language?
I know some.
Yes, but I'm asking about the ratio of everybody, at least in the English-speaking world. How many of them know
Okay,
sign
fine.
language? Here's a
had a
weird
friend,
question. Is
so-
sign language different in other countries?
Yes,
Yes.
I do believe it
Does
is.
sign language have an accent?
I do
Yes.
believe it does.
Odd.
That's why they call it American Sign Language. ESL is English
Right.
Sign Language.
I
Or
wonder
actually,
what
it's
form the
BSL,
accents
British Sign
take.
Language. It's just different. The accent takes shape in different signs. Different signs
Right.
that mean the same thing, depending upon which country you're in.
Sure, but I mean, like, what if? And I'm just making something up here because
Sure.
I don't remember a lot of sign language. Like, you know, you've got this, but in another country, it's ever so angled. You know, or something.
No.
That's what I'm talking about when I say accents, where it's the same
Okay.
sign, it's the same gesture, but with a little tweak to it.
It could be. I don't know enough about sign language to say yes or no, but I know that there are different versions of sign language depending upon what country you're in.
Well, there are different versions of gestures that are not necessarily in any sign language dictionary. For example, never, ever, ever in Germany do one of these.
Why?
Because that's pretty much the same as this.
Why?
And so is this, by the way. That's pretty much the same as this.
Yeah, well, you know that this
Or
one
two
has
fingers.
so many meanings
British.
now. Because, I mean, this is okay, except now if it's below your waist, it's a white supremacy symbol. But the thing is, there's also the circle game, where if you can get someone to look at this when it's below your waist, you get to punch them. You know, kind of like 2 for flinching. But now apparently if you play the circle game, you're also a white supremacist. So I mean, it stinks when people appropriate words and gestures.
Yes.
that-
Well, they do it in order to get their stuff out into the go. The interesting thing about appropriating, for example, is the appropriation that gangs do with sports gear. Around here, you see a lot of baseball caps with the Colorado Rockies logo. There are not as many Colorado Rockies fans in this neighborhood as there are Colorado Rockies caps. I assure you, because the caps are worn by members of the Crips.
Right. Now, you were talking about signs. Fuck you signs.
Yep.
2 fingers in Britain.
Well, yeah. But only if they're this way.
Yeah.
They're this way is willpower. But this way is fuck you, especially if you do this gesture with it.
Well, generally it's you hold the 2 fingers together and twist them. Is another way to do it.
What, you
I've
mean
never seen that one.
one of
Only ever
those?
seen it.
Yeah. Up yours, basically.
Well,
what it
I've only ever seen this one.
Okay. Biting your thumb in Italy.
Of course. Well,
and also
Shakespeare
this
even
one.
mentions that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
You know,
Well-
like under the chin like
Well,
this.
that there's also what that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's in the U.S. as well. I remember there was an episode of Friends where Ross was talking about the hand signs he used to use in Monica's direction to not let the parents know that he was basically giving the finger. And the first one was this, right? But then at one point, I forget if it was Rachel or Monica, does that to him. And so he starts going like this at her. And I have no
Okay.
idea what that one's supposed to mean, but yikes. Right? So-
Okay.
it's a thing I remember from watching that show. I don't know. It's funny because I've noticed a divide between people who enjoy Friends and people who think it's really stupid. But I think it's popular to hate the show. Where it feels like being part of a club of Friends haters rather than actually disliking the show.
NANA, hi.
Oh, NANA has been here a while.
Okay, I did not see NANA. I'm sorry I didn't see you the first time.
I'm trying to find because actually I don't know anything about NANA beyond being here, but I see from wow, what is this? 9:06 a.m. There's toilet paper bacon, toilet paper bacon, toilet paper bacon, toilet paper bacon, toilet paper bacon clap or wave. I'm not sure. But
Oh
I'm not
goodness.
sure what that means. If there's like spoiled bacon that you've eaten and now you need toilet paper, or if you mean that the toilet paper's all gone from the store and so is the bacon. I don't know.
Hmm.
Thing is, there was tons of bacon left when I went shopping yesterday.
Hmm.
Yeah, now this is something I noticed, or did I mention? I forget if I mentioned it or not earlier when I was showing some of the pictures. All the chicken was gone, but right next to it, the pork was still there.
See, that's funny because the pork was all gone when I went shopping yesterday. I went to the meat aisle and I wanted to buy some pork so I could make I still have some of the barbecue sauce left for the
Mm-hmm.
Chinese. And there was no pork to be found anywhere of any kind. But there was still beef, there was still bacon, there was not much chicken left, that's for sure. But the pork, gone.
Yeah,
Yeah, see, we don't have any of that going on here.
Well, people are panicking out the ass here.
I mean,
yeah, same here.
we've got cases of coronavirus in the local area. We just had one pop up in Citrus County, so which is
Well,
the county I live in. So it could happen in the next couple of days.
Well,
Well, we've got about 11 reported cases last I checked in San Diego.
Yeah,
11.
Okay,
there's like
I believe-
45 in Florida. So
I believe Allegheny County has had 2 reported cases, and they're already bringing the hammer down. No groups larger than 250. Some other restrictions there, that sort of thing, which I'm not necessarily saying is a bad thing. You know, that might be the thing to do to nip it in the bud, if you will. But of course, if everybody else around you is all full of raging corona cases, that's not going to do all that much.
Okay,
But
here we go. I'm looking at San Diego County coronavirus, and it says right here positive confirmed cases 0, presumptive positive 8, pending results 38, negative 99, total tested 145. So we don't actually have any actual like confirmed cases yet. We just have presumptive positives, and those are 8s. I don't see the date for this, but they claim that they're checking daily. Okay. These tables are updated daily, Monday through Friday by 4 p.m. So this is like a little out of date. March 13th, it says.
that was my birthday.
See, emergency declaration. On February 14th, the county declared a local health emergency and proclaimed a local emergency to deal with the novel coronavirus. Okay. On March 4th,
Well-
Governor blah, 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 proclamation waves, blah, 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 blah. Let's see. These actions empower the county to more effectively respond, seek, and it doesn't really say anything that we as citizens have to do as a result of this emergency declaration.
yeah, it seems that corona is a family of viri. So this is the novel coronavirus would be a new one they hadn't known about. And sorry, I was full of shit. 4 cases in Allegheny County.
Out of how many citizens?
About 1 million.
Okay. I know it's mean, I know it's cruel, but I kind of hope that Joe Biden gets it and succumbs to it. Well, I mean, right now, pretty much Bernie's only hope is that old age catches up to Joe Biden and he drops dead on the campaign trail.
Yeah, Biden could be a drooling idiot, totally senile, and he would still get the nomination. It's really disappointing to see the way things have. And you see the people out there. Well, why is everybody complaining about Biden? And it's, you want to see a list?
Well, the problem is that while Bernie is super, super, super popular among young voters, they're not going out to vote. They're just not doing it. And so the older voters who love Joe Biden are going out in droves, in record numbers. And that's why Biden's getting the nomination, because young people aren't getting out to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wish I could kick some arses, but oh well, what are you going to do? Uh,
Mostly, that's my plan. Well, it is.
moo.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, another thing that I did with my comic, I was like, real life pirates didn't bury their treasure. They mostly spent it on booze and gambling and then went out to steal again. Captain Kidd and Francis Drake are the only reliable accounts of buried treasure. The trope mostly comes from the book Treasure Island, and thus concludes another episode of Spoiling Your Childhood.
mm,
Because I would only say that sort of thing to be mean. Yeah. Well, here's another one. At what point does clothing stop being laundry? After you've worn it, a garment becomes laundry, and it remains so until it's been washed and dried. And it's still laundry in the basket being brought to a dresser. So what condition must be fulfilled before it's just clothing again?
I love it.
Maybe these are things that I think about. Like, okay, there's a chance that right now, I'm in mortal danger and my life is flashing before my eyes, which means I'm not really saying this. I'm just remembering saying it, except I am saying it, just not right now, sort of. It's like a pre-mortem fourth wall break.
And if your stuff doesn't take off like crazy, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Yeah, well, I'm used to my stuff not taking off.
Well, so far, Citrus County has not closed schools yet, but they are stockpiling uh, uh, disinfectants, industrial strength disinfectants, and equipping buildings with additional sanitizers and urging students and staff to wash hands or stay home if sick. Uh-huh.
If I ever
That's
start
gonna last.
if I ever start a band, our first album is going to be called Greatest Hits. Because
Okay.
there are only hits, you see, so clearly they have to be our greatest. That's anyway.
Yes, there is a point to that. Yes, yes.
Well, it's funny. I posted this particular comic on Twitter, and I had at least one person go, "Oh my gosh, I'm not the only one." Like there are apparently a lot of people, or at least one other person besides me, is irritated by my feet or my bottom.
Yeah.
But I think I'm the first and only one to refer to my ass as the back of my middle. I think that one's all me.
And the one that I've heard people talk about occasionally, and I've also wondered about is head over heels, describing somebody being like totally and absolutely and irrevocably in love, but that's not unusual. That's the normal way
think it'd be
things
heels
are.
over head.
Yeah. And he's the craziness and stuff, and I don't know.
Speaking
Oh
of not,
my!
come on. Okay, my mouse has just died. I mean, I can still click, it just won't move. This is weird.
Weird.
Oh, there it goes. I guess it just need to be cleaned out.
Squeak, squeak! I tell you, squeak. Anyway.
So,
Okay.
maybe the visual will help with this one, but when I tried to ask about this on Facebook, it seemed like people didn't understand it. Or it's like, we've all spun around for one reason or another, but have you gone more times clockwise or counterclockwise? And by how much? What's the disparity? between how many times you've spun in one direction versus another.
Now,
But
see,
for some reason, when I tried to say this on Facebook, people didn't understand what I was saying. They didn't get it.
okay, I've always spun clockwise.
But have you? I mean,
Or
what if you're in a place
counterclockwise.
where you're not sure which direction you're supposed to go? And so you're looking around and you're looking behind you to see if that's where you're supposed to go. And maybe it's
question.
possible that the direction you were supposed to go is closer to counterclockwise. So you spin that way. But then you realize, no, that wasn't it. And so you keep spinning counterclockwise to go back forward the way you were going. But, you know,
Mhm.
I mean, I often wonder that sort of thing. It occupies a stupid amount of my moments. You know, wondering, am I like this way or that way? Have I spun around an even or odd number of times? Or actually, no. The even or odd was how many French fries I've eaten. Have I eaten an even or an odd number of French fries in my life? And do broken ones count? Or are they literally a half? I don't know. So I spend way too much time thinking about this shit.
Holy fucking shit.
Bastradega?
Somebody is selling a 1930 Model A 5-window coupe, 76,000 miles for $16,000. It's an antique.
Call me when it's a DeLorean and a lot cheaper.
Well, back when I was in uni the first time, a friend of mine was restoring one of those.
A DeLorean?
Yeah, Model A.
Oh.
Jeez.
Gia, son of a motherless goat. Holy crap. You know they're coming out with new DeLoreans, right?
Okay,
They're re-releasing them. $100,000 a pop.
Ouch.
Now, I was actually looking for used DeLoreans just to see, and there's still like 32 thou for a used one from the 80s.
Bushta.
So, but seriously, what I wouldn't give to have a frickin' DeLorean. I got to ride in one once. It's actually not the best car in the world, but I love the design, especially those gull-wing doors.
Yes.
It just looks so sci-fi is the thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've had people say, well, how about one of those Lamborghinis? I'm like, no, the door opens like this, not like this. You know what I mean? Where it rotates forward towards the hood of the car instead of rotating up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
I don't know. I just don't get a tingle with those really expensive cars. You know, I wonder. You know, I wonder why people like Lamborghinis or Jaguars
cool.
or.
I mean, that's the thing. They look cool. It has nothing to do with the price. I mean, if I had the means to start car production for whatever reason, I would put out cars that are aesthetically cool looking and price them like regular cars, because there is no reason that a cool looking car has to be extra expensive other than like demand for them. That's the only reason. It's kind of like I would love to start a company that puts out women's jeans with actual pockets.
Wouldn't that be something? Yeah, that would be amazing.
You would make fucking bank doing that. Seriously. Because you look online, every woman is screaming for them. You know? I mean, as a lesbian, I can get away with wearing boy jeans, and I do just because I need the pockets. But you know, how great would it be to have actual girl jeans with actual pockets? Am I right? So, I mean, it's the same thing with sports cars. There's no reason you can't make a practical car that looks like a sports car. No reason whatsoever.
I don't know. It's I know I'm old. I know because I look at a Volvo and I say, "Gee, that's a car I'd like to have."
Really?
I actually do like the rectilinear design, believe it or not.
Okay, you ever see oh God, what's the name of the movie? It's got Dudley Moore in it. It might just be like Crazy People or something, where he's
Dudley
an
Moore?
advertising executive and he snaps and he starts putting out these ads that are like in no way weasel wordy. They just say whatever. And he gets fired and thrown into a mental institution where he like has a romance with Daryl Hannah or whatever. But all of a sudden, all these truth telling ads that he put out there, because they end up out there despite the executives who are telling him no. Um, like they're selling products. People love the truth telling ads, and they're like, "Oh God, we were wrong about this guy. We need him back." And so they try to get him out of the mental institution. And one of the ads that he put out there was Volvos. They're boxy, but they're good.
Okay.
Was the ad. Of course, with the horrible, horrible, horrible ad at the end is where he's showing all these white guys trying to build circuit boards and putting microchips on, and they can't do it. Everything's flying everywhere, and like the soldering irons aren't working, and all this stuff. And the ad is, you don't want Anglo-Saxons building your circuit boards because they're too far away from them. They can't see them. That's why you want Asians making the circuit boards, because they're closer to them. They're all shorter. And so you need to buy, whatever the company name is, because, what was it? Because Caucasians are just too damn tall, was the ad. Right? And I mean, it's silly, and I don't know why I've retained this information, because I haven't watched that movie since like 1987 or some shit. But yeah, so you talk about Volvos and the rectilinear design. That was a thing.
Yeah, I think the older Mercedes Benz are also like that, if I remember correctly. I mean, a little classier than Volvo, but I have to look on that to see if that is the case.
Hold on here. I found the ad. Present now, a winder, and go.
Hey, yay! Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, for me, I like a car where if it was in a Japanese movie, it would turn into a robot. That is what I love.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Mercedes, and yeah, the older non-sports car Mercedes. Those have the same rectilinear design, and they're a little classier, a little pricier. But I like that design, and this is how I know I'm old.
Mm. I guess it was called Crazy People is the name of the movie.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm looking for. Oh, it was Sony. That was the name of the company that had the because Caucasians are too darn tall or too damn tall was the ad. It's funnier if you actually watch the video that goes with it, but yeah, there's the
Okay then.
yeah. I mean, I remember it being a funny movie, but it was also a very long time ago. So, I mean, I could be wrong. Like, have you ever rewatched a movie and gone, wow, I remember this being so much better?
Yes.
Like,
yeah. Oh, the other one I will admit to liking for it was a series of years, but the last year I remember having that body style was the '78 Mustang. Too bad I can't show it easily.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh, I forgot about this one. There was an ad for Jaguar cars, and it says, for men who'd like hand jobs from beautiful women they hardly know. One of them was like, Yeah, Metamucil. It helps you go to the toilet. If you don't use it, you'll get cancer and die.
Yeah.
Let's
Oh,
see.
goodness.
Quaker Oats. Does this cereal taste great? Who knows? But at least the box is cute.
There you are. And there's where
Yeah.
I was disappointed when I went to the shopping. I was hoping that they might have 1 or 2 boxes of Life cereal left, but no. Damn it.
Oh.
Well, my local supermarket for some reason stopped carrying Kix cereal. I have
Oh!
no like and they say we have no control over it. And this is something I didn't know about supermarkets is that the brands, the companies that put out these products rent space on shelves and they get to decide what they put on the shelf. Like the supermarket has no control over it.
Oh,
And
wow.
apparently they decided to stop renting space for Kix cereal.
Wow.
Weird.
Yeah. Like if I want something even vaguely similar, and honestly it's not that close, I have to get corn pops.
Yeah, no, that's definitely not the same.
But it's the closest I can find. Oh my gosh, is that Paul Reiser in Crazy People? Now I have to see this again. Sorry, I'm a big old fan of Paul Reiser. I like him a lot.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, I first encountered his existence in Aliens, and he was pretty good in that. And then I watched him in Mad About You. Wonderful series. I adore Mad About You, and he was hilarious in that. So
I remember
yeah.
him with Tom Hanks in the sitcom. I'm trying to remember what the name of the sitcom
Oh, was it
is.
Bosom Buddies?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. I never actually watched that, oddly enough, but oh dear gods. Oh, this is horrid. Is because I lived in Seattle for 20 years and apparently UFO Insider, which I guess is a magazine, says that the top of the Space Needle is a reverse engineered alien spacecraft with boarding duct recently uncovered in clouded Washington State Citadel. Oh my gosh, that's stupid. People be so dumb. I mean, granted, yes, the top of the Space Needle looks vaguely UFO-esque, but still.
Oh my god.
Where did you get this?
On the Googles.
Oh.
Here, let me share the screen. Present now. A window. And there we be.
Holy fucking shit.
Yeah, people be dumb.
Oh my goodness.
The damn thing is, I remember when that was built.
Well, you know what's funny is like I lived in Seattle 20 years, never been up the Space Needle. There's like a lot of things where, it sounds no true Scotsman-y,
Yep.
but you're not a Seattleite unless fill in the blank, fill in the blank, fill in the blank. And a lot of it is just you are truly a Seattleite if you don't do the touristy things.
Okay, okay.
Like the only touristy thing you do as actually, I guess there's two. You take the underground tour through Pike Place Market and you go to the Experience Music Project. That's like it. But there's a lot of Seattle-y things where it's like, oh, you're not a true Seattleite until you've either worked for Microsoft, Amazon, Boeing, or Starbucks. Until you've worked in one of those places, you are not a true Seattleite.
Oh my, oh my, oh my.
I've worked for two of them. I've worked for Amazon and I've worked for Squishy Soft. Hello.
Okay.
That's a horrible ad. And I'm pretty sure I can't show it without your channel getting flagged.
Oh my, how bad is it?
It is apparently a like I guess a cologne for men, But the advertisement is a naked woman shown where like you can't see her nipples, and her rather spread legs have a cologne bottle in front of the naughty bits. And yeah, let's see. It says men and women don't, of course, respond to the same universal set of turn-ons. One man's bit of healthy fun can easily be a woman's lifetime crusade for legislation change. As Billy Crystal put it, women need a reason to have sex. Men just need a place. Yeah, that's wow. Okay, fine. That's yeah.
There's a point to it.
You we live in such a strange world. You know when they say, may you live in interesting times?
Yeah, the ancient
Well, we
curse.
kind of are, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as you say, it's what is that song? It's a strange, strange world we live in, Master Jock.
I don't know it. I just know the Chinese curse. But, I don't know. For some reason, what you just said put me in mind of a song from Animaniacs. It's a great big universe, and we're all small and dinky. We're tiny little specks about the size of Mickey Rooney's. I don't know. It's been a while.
Hi, Seraphim.
But, yeah, it's this whole song about the universe being gigantic, and for some reason, what you said put me in mind of it.
Okay.
All right, ladies, I am going to be heading off.
You are going to go to the...
Yeah, I'm
I'm
going to...
already off.
It's 2:15 here. I'm going to go get some lunch or something and maybe watch some TV on the couch. So
Wait.
What?
How are you going to be watching the TV on the couch? I thought you watched the TV on the TV.
Yes, I'm going to be sitting on the couch watching the TV. I'm going to watch to see if it moves.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Yes, I noticed it, you.
Yes, I see you all later. Bye-bye.
You be good,
Have fun
honey.
storming the castle.
I will, darling.
Yay.
I don't know. I've been saying the have fun storming the castle thing lately, and what's weird is either people don't get it or they don't care.
Okay.
Do you get it?
I don't get it, no.
Okay, it's from The Princess Bride.
Oh, no wonder I don't get it.
What, you haven't seen The Princess Bride?
No.
Okay, we're not allowed to be friends anymore.
I'll have to do
You
something
need to
about
see The
that.
Princess Bride. That's just crazy pants that you haven't seen The Princess Bride.
Yeah, I actually have not seen it. I'll have to find a copy of it somewhere and view this copy of the thing.
It's like such a classic. Everybody loves The Princess Bride. What's funny is there are actually, I want to say, 3 movies. Yes, 3 movies that I will always put next to each other on the shelf for some reason. The Princess Bride, Labyrinth, and The Dark Crystal. Now, Labyrinth and The Dark Crystal make sense because both of those were Henson productions.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know why, like, The Princess Bride goes next to them. It just does.
Okay.
Oh,
I
and
can accept that.
Amiga Nuts, I'm not missing the accent. That's how he said it. Or no, actually, I guess it was Carol Kane who said it. So that's how she said it. She had an accent, but when she said have fun storming the castle, it did not come out with an accent. Like a recognizable, distinct accent when she said it, so. Yeah.
Because of reasons.
Anyway, it's like Billy Crystal and Carol Kane. Their scene in that movie might be 10 minutes long, but it's absolutely brilliant. And and I mean, it's got one hell of a cast. It's got Carrie Elways, Robin Wright, Billy Crystal, and Carol Kane. Like I said, it's got Andre the Giant. It's got Mandy Patinkin. It's got oh shit, what's the name of the dude from Spinal Tap? Brain not work now. It's got Chris Sarandon. Wow, why am I blanking on the dude from Spinal Tap? He's in like he makes all those mockumentaries. Christopher Guest, that's it. It's got Christopher Guest. It's got Wallace Shawn. It's got Fred Savage of all people. And I swear his grandfather is played by some famous old dude whose name I'm totally blanking on because I never seen him in anything else as far as I know. But yeah, I want to say it's Peter something, but I don't know. Still, it's an amazing movie, and I'm shocked you haven't seen it. Shocked.
Yeah, there's
Let's
a lot
see.
of stuff I haven't got around to.
Peter Cook is the as Peter Cook as the impressive clergyman in it. That's right. But man, who the hell plays the grandfather? Oh, here we go. Peter Falk. That's who plays the grandfather.
Oh,
Surely
my.
I've seen him in something else. Peter Falk.
Peter Falk, he's been everywhere.
Oh, he's Columbo. That's
Yeah.
all right.
Have you ever seen The Great Race?
No.
Okay.
I'm looking at his list of credits on IMDb, and honestly, I've seen almost none of it.
Okay, then. Because let me tell you, in The Great Race, the way Peter Falk and Jack Lemmon play off each other is absolutely brilliant. Jack Lemmon plays Professor Fate, who's the type character going on, and Falk is his bumbling assistant, Max. And just the way they play off each other, it's brilliant. It really, really is.
Yeah, but it's also from 1965. There are so few old movies that I watch that aren't science fiction.
Okay. Yeah, and this
I
is
mean,
definitely not
the only
science
one coming to
fiction.
mind. Actually, I guess the only two coming to mind are The Mouse That Roared and The Russians Are Coming. The Russians Are Coming are the only old movies I can think of that aren't sci-fi or, I guess, horror. Because, I did watch Village of the Damned, and that's obviously not... I mean, it's kind of sci-fi, but it's more horror than sci-fi. And what was the other one that I watched that was horror? Brain not work now, but point being, yeah. Oh, Psycho.
Okay.
Yeah, Psycho. But seriously, like if it was made before I was born, there's a very good chance I haven't watched it. And 1965 is 10 years before I was hatched. So 10 years before I was decanted from the uterine replicator vats.
Oh, my.
Oh, no, I take it back. I have seen It's a Mad, 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 Mad World.
Oh, well, yeah, there you go. You cannot be a sentient being without having seen that. Yeah.
Yes, you can.
With a cast of millions.
Yeah, but a cast of really old millions. Well, no, I mean, I'm dead serious. Like it really... I'm sure a lot of people in the audience right now have never even heard of it.
I am trying to remember that was it at least two of the Howard brothers were in that film?
What, you mean like Ron Howard and Rance Howard?
Like Moses Howard and Jerome Howard?
I've never heard of these people.
They were two of the Three Stooges.
Oh, those Howards. Okay. I don't know. Let's see. Well, I do see Mo Howard is the only one of them.
Okay, so maybe it was just the one.
But yeah, this cast is freaking huge, actually. But I mean, it's a who's who of very old movies, really. Because I mean, freaking Spencer Tracy, Milton Berle, Sid Caesar, Buddy Hackett, Ethel Merman, Mickey Rooney. I mean, these are people that are definitely before my time.
Little bit. Little bit.
Jonathan Winters. Let's see. I know that Durante is in it. Selma Diamond, who I only know from Night Court. Yeah, Stan Freberg. Why do I know that name?
Oh,
Did he do a lot of piano stuff? Was that him?
I'm trying to remember the stuff. He did some voices, I know, and what's the other stuff he did?
Oh gosh, Buster Keaton and Don Knotts. Oh hey, Carl Reiner. Okay, I have only ever heard of Maury Amsterdam once, and it was an episode of Tiny Toons. Oh hey, Jack Benny.
Okay, Maury Amsterdam was a supporting character on the Dick Van Dyke Show.
Yeah, that didn't help me. Let's see. Do I recognize any of these other names? Because, wow, boy, do I not. Let's see. Stan Freberg. Okay, maybe I'm thinking of someone else. Was there someone whose last name was Freberg who did a lot of piano, like comedy piano shit?
Let me think now. I don't know if there was anybody I remember. Let's see. Television. Let's find the television.
Let's see. So, I mean, Peter Falk is very dead. What killed you? Cardiorespiratory arrest, pneumonia, and Alzheimer's. Jeez! Apparently nature hated this guy.
Okay, then.
Well, I don't know. I often wonder, like, you know how many celebrities marry other celebrities? And I have to wonder sometimes why that is. I mean, I guess part of it is probably that
they hang around together.
A lot of no, I'm getting there. A lot of acting involves emotion, and so I guess a lot of people get attached to each other just because they've shared so much emotion. But I'm sure also part of it is just you can't really necessarily trust a fan who like to be genuine with you,
right?
Like how do you know you're not a trophy? How do you know you're not a check in their bucket list? You know? So I mean, I guess. I mean, but you never hear about like a famous actor or actress getting married to the key grip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've heard of a few where they get married to directors or producers, though.
Well, didn't Cher marry a pizza delivery boy at one point?
I don't know.
Oh,
wait a minute. Here's another one I've seen that he was in: Murder by Death.
Oh, yay. Okay, yes.
Mind you, that was 1976, so I had been hatched already. Oh, and oh no, that was something else. Never mind. But yeah, that's one I've seen. Wow, Alec Guinness was in that. So, you know, Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Yes.
James Cromwell, is that who I think it is? Yes, it is. Okay. Oh, and he's still alive. I thought he was dead. Huh. Well, that's good, though. He was in Big Hero 6? I'm going to have to watch that again. Huh. Because Big Hero 6 is a great movie. I've mentioned before, I'm not so much with the superhero movies because they've been, like, seriously oversaturated. But Big Hero 6 was a really good one. I probably should have realized it from the title, but from the trailer I saw, I had no idea it was a superhero flick. Because as near as I could tell, it was a kid and his big chubby robot friend. Like his big inflatable robot friend.
Okay.
And then when I was watching it, that sure seemed to be what it was. right up until about the halfway mark, when all of a sudden he meets all these young superheroes who recruit him and the robot. So, yeah. Now I'm going to have to watch that again. Usually I catch famous voices in animated movies, but that time I missed it. That's right. He was also one of the dads in Revenge of the Nerds. Man, James Cromwell has been in frickin' everything. And now I have that Monty Python song in my head about Oliver Cromwell.
Oh!
Yeah, I liked Big Hero 6 a lot. The only thing, I would love to see a movie like Big Hero 6 without the obligatory humor. You know, like that's one thing about animated movies is you can never find one that takes itself completely seriously. You always have to have the comic relief characters. You always have to have the silly ass characters. I mean, it'd be really nice to have, because that movie was not enhanced by the humor. It could have been done seriously and been a very good movie. But oh well. And yeah, you know, I loved Revenge of the Nerds too. But it's been a victim of the whole revisionist history thing that's been going around where they're like, oh, yeah, that one scene was like totally rapey. It doesn't matter that she didn't say no. The fact that he was wearing a mask and she thought it was her boyfriend makes it rape. And I'm like, I guess, but she ends up totally like going out with the guy and becoming his girlfriend after and dumping the rich jock asshole. So I don't know. But you notice how every movie that you love as a child is now subject to people going, you know, the main character was really the villain. Like all the time now. You can't get away from it.
Yeah. It's really horrible that you reach back and apply current
Values?
thank you, that's a good word, to previous
More.
things. Yes. And I know that does apply to some of the arguments against things in the Old Testament and everything else like that. But the Old Testament God was a jackass anyway, so you know, we can get along without that. But yeah, it's
like, oh yeah, Ferris Bueller was the asshole and Ed Rooney was the good guy. Never mind that Ed Rooney was a royal dick. But I mean, he was enforcing actual truancy rules. He really was. He just went too far and he was too vindictive. You know, it was kind of like how Johnny was apparently the hero of the Karate Kid because this, that, and the other reason. But he was clearly the bully. He was clearly the antagonist. So how was he the hero? I don't know. It's just you.
I'm glad I'm not part of modern culture, I guess.
I mean, there is something to modern culture. The problem is you have to pick and choose. You know, because you can't cut yourself off from it entirely, or it doesn't work. You miss so many cultural references. You don't understand other people anymore. You don't have to necessarily empathize with them or want to be like them, but it helps to know what they know, to experience what they experience, just so you can deal with them.
Oh yeah, it's. I guess what I was saying was it's kind of a good thing for me to be looking at it from the outside rather than being immersed in it. You know, being a current part of it. I cannot see my personality accepting that.
Well, I mean, goodness knows that there's very little music out there for me to enjoy anymore. The philosophy behind songwriting has changed too radically.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. But, oh, hey there, Xander. How are you, buddy?
Is there the kittiness over there? Is the kitty?
He's on the other chair.
Hello, kitty.
Oh, and now he's under the desk. Now he's exploring my shins, actually. I was going to say ankles, but now he's decided shins. He's a cute little monstrosity.
Yeah, now what you need is that Columbia decides she likes him after all. And then...
Don't climb. Don't climb. He was going to try to climb up my leg, and what I'm wearing down there is pretty thin, so... Yeah.
Yeah, what you need now
I mean, for those who haven't guessed, yes, I'm still in my jammies.
Yeah, if Columbia and Xander become partners in crime, you're in trouble.
I mean, Columbia's pretty good about it. Let me see if I can find this meme that I saw where it was like, it was a synthesizer or a keyboard for those writing contemporary music, and it's got like 4 keys on it.
Okay.
You know, I can't find that meme. Did I post it on Facebook or what? I don't know. I don't know where it went. But it was a funny meme. I thought for sure I had it saved. Oh well, the moment's lost anyway. But yeah, I don't connect with most of today's music. It just doesn't... Things have shifted in a direction I don't care for. I mean, but the thing is, every now and then I find a few gems. But it's like, you know, I play one song from the band, or from this one band, their one song I like, and people extrapolate from that to go, oh, you're a fan of this, that, or the other thing. I'm like, well, no. I liked that one song they did that was nothing like the rest of what they do.
Okay, then.
Well, I mean, it's true. There are a lot of bands out there where I don't like most of what they do, but they have that one gem.
Oh, my. Okay, Seraphim, you say the third kitty is hiding in the attic, so you must be the lucky one who has one of those attics you get to via a staircase?
Well, yeah, at least it's probably not one of those ones where you have to pull a cable and the ladder comes down.
Well,
You know, the trapdoor.
Say again?
With the trapdoor.
Right. The attic in the house I grew up in didn't even have that. It had a chunk of plywood over the kind of hole in the ceiling that there is for the trapdoor for the stair thing that you pull down, but there was no stair thing. You had to get a ladder. That was always fun.
Well, we didn't have an attic or a basement in my house where I was raised. The ceiling was just like the roof was just the ceiling. You know, I mean, I suppose we could have had a third story, but it wasn't. We didn't. And the basement was more like a small, dirty cave. It was not a proper basement. We didn't have a rec room down there. We didn't have a bomb shelter or any of that. We just didn't.
Moo.
I kind of envied my friends who had basement rec rooms in a way.
Yeah, the aunt whose hair went completely white when she was 18 had the 3 kids. Gary had a AM broadcasting station in the attic of that house. It was great. You could get there up a proper staircase. It's just that the attic was unfinished for the most part. So he just took all his equipment up there and he used the telephone cable as an antenna. So whenever you called his house, you heard the radio station, basically. He may still have the cease and desist letter he got from the FCC. Yeah, they let him off because he was 16 when they found him. I guess had he been an adult, they would have charged him. And he was a disc jockey and general manager of a radio station, career-wise.
General manager of a radio station. Sorry, had to.
Okay. So, yeah, he took that stuff with him, and he finally got, I don't know, too stressed out or whatever. The stress got to him, so he left it all behind and became an electrician at Six Flags, one of the Six Flags parks.
That seems like an odd career move, but okay.
Yeah,
I mean, not that it's. I'm saying it's a non sequitur, is what I'm saying.
yeah, I think that's what he was after. I think he just wanted to be out of radio and anything relating to it. He's very likely retired by now. Let's see, he was born in 1950, so.
You know, there were a lot of websites out there where I wish you could set defaults for things. Like on Facebook, if I go looking at photos, it defaults to photos of you, which are rarely of me, and not to photos you've posted. And I really wish it was the other way around because I'm trying to find pictures I've posted. Like, there was this one I found. I don't know if you ever saw it or not, but I thought it was hilarious. Someone was high while they were shopping on Amazon, and they genuinely believed that this was a gigantic ice cream sandwich.
All right.
And yeah, beds should look like beds. I ordered this when I was high because I thought it was a giant ice cream sandwich. It's not. It's a bed and not the $150 ice cream sandwich I wanted.
All right.
I mean, I know pot gives you the munchies, and boy, does it ever, but wow.
I have to wonder if... I am so sorry. I wonder if that's satirical or if this guy actually did think it was a fucking 30-pound ice cream sandwich. Say again.
Well, that's the problem these days, is that you genuinely can't necessarily tell whether someone is making shit up or if they really believe the goofball crap they're saying.
By the way, somebody is being terminally cute behind you.
Oh. Yeah. I didn't realize you could see him. I'm looking at the field of view on my camera, and unless he was up on top of something, I'm surprised you could see. Oh no, okay. You can see the floor a little. Okay.
Yeah, he was in front of the door. Well, you want
to have to get more caffeine.
Oh my. Yeah, you want to talk about drunk purchases. Oh, Lord. I actually made a drunk purchase. I don't know if it's still around. Does anybody remember K-Tel Incorporated?
I remember its existence. I'm not sure. Did they still run ads in the 80s?
Yes.
And I guess maybe... They sold all those like horrible record sets, didn't they?
I'm getting there. Okay. Because I was drunk. Oh, was I ever smashed? And on the telly came a K-Tel ad for an album featuring the songs of Boxcar Willie. I ordered that fucker before the ad was finished. It was.
Why? I mean, yeah, I know you were drunk, but why? Even drunk, I can recognize, hey, that's not music I want.
Well, there are actually one or two Boxcar Willie songs that I kind of like. One of them is called Kalijah. It was about a tobacco store Indian. You know,
Okay.
the statue.
Sure.
And the other is the Wabash Cannonball.
Oh, wow. I know that song from somewhere, but I think it was Utah Phillips singing it when I heard it.
Okay.
My parents made me listen to so much fucked up music when I was little, and Utah Phillips was among them. But most of what I remember from him is the story about moose turd pie. Do you know that one?
Sounds familiar.
Well, the basic idea is he was working on the railroad all the livelong day. But no, he was working on the railroad, and part of like laying tracks, and part of it was that people would make the food, right? But nobody wanted the job of making the food for all the workers. And so you would make the worst food possible, because if someone complained, what you said was, oh, you think you can do better? Well, now you get to be the cook.
Okay.
Right? So he's new with this crew, and the food is awful, and he complains. And they tell him, okay, you can be the cook if you think you can do better. Well, he didn't want to be the cook. So he came up with this idea. And he's walking around, and he sees this gigantic moose turd. Right? So he rolls it over to the kitchen, and he makes a pie shell, the most beautiful pie shell ever, and he puts the moose turd in it, and he like lays strips over it like it's the that kind of pie and all this stuff, and he bakes it. And he waits till the end of the meal, and he starts serving the dessert, and he's waiting just for the hint of a complaint. And this big dude, this big burly dude, comes walking in and takes a big slice of the pie, and he takes a huge bite, and he spits it out, and he yells, "My God, that's moose turd pie." Good though. Right? And that's everything I remember from that album, except that I'm pretty sure the Wabash Cannonball was also on it.
Okay, then.
So, I mean, yeah, my parents made me listen to all kinds of that and folk music and all kinds of shit because they were hippies, kind of still are. Rich hippies now, but still hippies.
Okay.
And yeah, so yeah. Let me see if I can find. Here's the album. Let me see if the Wabash Cannonball is on it. I don't see it. Damn. Oh well, then I don't know. I don't know. Because I know I've heard that somewhere. Utah Phillips Wabash Cannonball. Let's see, maybe it's on a different album. Oh, apparently it's on that album. I just didn't see it on the Amazons. Well, anyway.
Oh my, there's a recording of moose turd pie on YouTube.
Oh yeah, of course there is. And his version, of course, is a lot longer than what I did. It was I boiled it down to the essentials, but because he talks about different ways of laying track on the railroad and this, that, and the other thing. Something called Gandy dancing. I don't know why.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, he makes that story a lot longer than I did. Yeah. Recovery from what? Because there's all kinds of things you can recover from. Are we talking injuries, drug addiction, what? I don't know. Obviously there's delay. So
well, okay. I'm wondering, does the recovery have anything to do with ethanol?
Well, there's a lot of things to recover from is the thing. I mean, because, my brain might go to recovery from addiction, but it also goes to like physical therapy, or I was in the hospital for this, that, or the other thing. And okay, so it was
ethanol related. Okay.
Yeah. That is the problem with ambiguous terminology, isn't it? There are so many things where it's like you can say this, that, or the other thing, and people might misunderstand you because the same word as another definition.
Oh, you mean like faith?
Well, yeah, not necessarily where I was going, but yeah.
Yoy. That one will
And
live in infamy.
I mean, the thing is, like trying to argue about faith after a while gets so frustrating that my head literally explodes.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, yeah. The scary part is that both definitions of that are in the dictionary now, of literally.
Oh
But
no.
I also looked up the history of it. And it turns out that the using it as emphasis or exaggeration was originally correct.
Oh.
Because literally comes from literary, which means that you're making shit up for a novel. So using it as hyperbole refers to literary fiction originally.
Okay.
So, yeah. How fucked up is that? I only just learned that a few days ago, and I'm like, okay, it makes sense. I don't like it, but it makes sense.
I'm trying to remember if we were talking about that on another show recently, because I remember mentioning something about the word let. Where I know in Shakespeare's English, let had a meaning opposite that which it has now.
I seem to recall that, but didn't you say it on Twitter?
Maybe I did, because the one that comes to mind is Hamlet. Um, okay, today let is to permit, but in Hamlet, let is to prevent the line of "I'll make a ghost of him that lets me." In other words, he will kill the one who tries to hold him back.
Well, and then of course there's bloodletting.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember if that definition is retained today. It may be. I'm not sure.
Well, I'm pretty sure we still say that on occasion. I mean, it's rare, but people still say it. You know, sometimes I eat beef, but it's rare.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, I just that popped into my head. I had to say it.
That is actually something I do like in moderation is steak tartare.
Okay. But the line I just said, it reminds me of what's his face, that comedian who did all the one-liners way back when, who I only know of really because of that one bit he did in Goodfellas. Was it Henny Youngman?
Okay,
who did all the one-liners?
That sounds like it would be.
Take my wife, please, that guy.
I believe that's is that Youngman or is that Dangerfield?
It is Henny Youngman. I'm looking now. I typed in King of the One-Liners because that's what they called him.
Okay.
And yes, it's Henny Youngman. Yep. Huh. That name was given to him by Walter Winchell. Now, I only know about Winchell because there was this whole thing about Winchell and Lipman in Stranger in a Strange Land, and I had to look them up. Apparently, one of them is sort of a one of them is a serious journalist, and the other one is more of a sensationalist, let's say.
Okay.
Yeah, and I remember because there was I remember thinking this was funny because I got the reference after looking it up from Stranger in a Strange Land, but there was this movie that came out in the 90s that bombed, and I think I'm the only one who liked it, called North. It had Elijah Wood in it, and it was basically like this precocious kid who gets sick and tired of his parents and divorces them and goes looking for other parents around the world. And one of the Culkins that's not Macaulay was playing this other precocious kid who was helping him do it, but he was sensationalizing it. Like his search for parents was like there were people auditioning and this, that, and the other thing. And the kid who was sensationalizing it was named Winchell.
Ah.
And so that's anyway. So when I saw Walter Winchell gave Henny Youngman the name King of the One-Liners, I was like, oh, that guy. Yeah, okay. Stephen Wright could be a king of the one-liners, but he's not the guy I was thinking of. I love Stephen Wright. He's so funny, but
He's really, really funny, you know? Yeah. Well, actually, I had too much inflection in my voice for Stephen Wright.
But you know who I would love to see as a double bill is Stephen Wright and Emo Phillips.
Oh, my.
They're like two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. God, I love Emo Phillips. That dude is so fucking funny.
Oh, my.
Like he plays this idiot man-child with a religious mother, and he loves coleslaw.
Oh, there we go. I never knew. I finally had to look it up. I always wondered what Henny Youngman's given name was. It was Henry. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
I still love Emo Phillips, where he's like, I used to pray to God every year to give me a bicycle on my birthday. But then I remembered God doesn't work that way. So I stole a bicycle and asked him to forgive me.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I love that. He's also the one with the die heretic and I pushed him off the bridge joke. You know that one?
I don't know if I know that one.
Well, he sees a guy who's about to jump off a bridge. And he's like, no, you have so much to live for. Like the glory of God. What religion are you? Are you a Christian or a Jew? And he goes, I'm a Christian. He goes, me too. Protestant or Catholic? He goes, Protestant. Me too. And they break it down finally, Council of 1847 West or Council of 1846 East. He goes, Council of 1846 West. Die, heretic, and shoves him off the bridge. Oh, it's such a great routine.
Be mindful. You ask, what's my background picture? It's from the Hong Kong protests.
What background picture?
You
mean in the thumbnail?
The one for the screen. Which...
what in heck are you talking about?
Okay, on the OBS composite of what everything's going here. There's the...
Okay, I'm not even looking at the stream right now. I'm just looking at the meetup thing, the meet screen. So I haven't seen that.
Yeah, because I brought that out last week in one of my moods, and I'm just keeping it there.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you know who Jimmy Dore is.
Yes, I do.
I really like. Yeah, he keeps saying that we need to start putting on those yellow vests and going out rioting like the French people did.
He's got a point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about Dore. One of the things I remember was the altercation. Oh, Christ, where was this? Where Alex Jones came upon the group from TYT and started messing around with their heads, and it ended up almost a fist fight, and I believe Jimmy Dore spit on Jones and that sort of thing.
I missed that entirely. I do have some reservations about him. I take him with a grain of salt because there are times where I think he goes a little off the conspiracy theory bridge.
You got a point there, yeah.
But in general, I like what he has to say.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not...
I find him entertaining, and I have him as a Facebook friend, so...
Oh, well.
Yeah. Not that he's actually really interacted with me. He just accepted my friend request, but still.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah. But no, I mean, generally speaking, I usually watch him and Kyle Kalinske together. Now, Kyle, I like his politics, but he really needs to stop trying to be funny. He's bad at it.
Yeah. He also can be a little bit of a jerk at times. Well, so can I.
Well, everyone can, but I mean, seriously, for me, it's mostly like those childish nicknames he kept giving all of the candidates. You know, like he kept saying Amy Cloud Boot Jar and Bet on My Stork and all that
You
shit.
know, that
I'm like,
sounds
dude, what are you in elementary school?
too much like Donald Trump, who sounds like he's in
Kinda.
elementary school with
Kinda.
his
I mean,
Sleepy Joe and all this other bullshit.
I mean, he's stopped doing it for the most part, although he still says Tap Jaker instead of Jake Tapper
Okay.
or take something. I don't know, but he had, you know, and he always has to do that stupid stuffy British voice whenever he wants to talk about the 1%. Oh yes, sir, and he does the jacket clutching thing. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
yeah.
and you're yes, he always has to do that final yes, and I'm just like, oh, dude, you're not funny.
Grudge.
Stop.
How old is older?
Well, who are we talking about here?
Grudge says there's a woman who has great one-liners. Can't remember her name. Older woman. Seraphim's wondering if it's Paula Poundstone.
I don't remember her doing one-liners.
That, and I don't think of her as older.
Well, she is now.
Well, she's younger than I am, so I don't think of her as older.
Let's see, Paula Poundstone. Here we go. And she was born in 59.
Oh, I thought she was a little bit younger than that.
Might as well have been 1960. I mean, December 29th.
I thought she was a little bit younger than that, like maybe 3 to 5 years younger.
Well, still. But I don't remember her being a one-liner comic. I mean, I've seen her do stand-up, and I do not remember it being one-liners. But anyway, there was something else I was going to mention, and I don't know what it is anymore.
One-liners, 70s. So you're thinking
No,
of...
it was after that. It was after that.
The person Grudge was originally thinking about. Were you wondering about Joan Rivers?
Is Joan Rivers still a thing?
I don't know if she's still alive.
I'm pretty sure she is, but you know how she had all that plastic surgery where she's starting to look like Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
I mean, like her eyes are practically swollen shut at this point.
Okay, she died 3.5 years ago.
Did she? I missed that, but okay.
I'm sorry, not 3.5 years, more than that. September 2014.
I completely missed the fact that she died. What the hell is anoxic encephalopathy? There we go.
Okay, anoxic is without oxygen.
Encephalopathy.
Okay, has something to do with the brain.
Well, yes. Let's see. It's a brain disease, damage, or malfunction. Can present a very broad spectrum of symptoms. Okay, we're not going to get the details on this one then.
Okay, so I guess it's not a disease, it's a class of diseases, something like that. Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like she just had brain damage from lack of oxygen, though why she would be lacking oxygen, who knows?
Moo.
Well, okay. You know, it's funny looking at, like, celebrity marriages and how few of them last past, like, 3 years.
Yeah.
You know, but then again, I mean, I'm looking here. She was married to some dude I've never heard of from September of 56 to 1957. But then she married some other dude from 65 to 87, and they only broke up because he died. Probably for the best if you break up with a dead person, honestly.
Really, it is, yes.
Yeah. Actually, it does refer to her here as the queen of the barbed one-liners. Says that's her nickname. So
Okay, then. Okay, in
yeah.
this little thing, tag, whatever you want to call it, from eMedicine Health, we have anoxic, okay, is no oxygen, or hypoxic, less oxygen. Encephalopathy is a condition where brain tissue is deprived of oxygen and there is global loss of brain function. The longer brain cells lack oxygen, the more damage occurs. Okay, so yeah, if there's global loss of brain function, no wonder it presents so widely.
Holy shit!
Tiste Petrada?
Sorry, I went down a couple of rabbit holes looking at Joan Rivers' profile on IMDb, and it said that her mentor is Phyllis Diller,
Ah,
who's
jeez.
she like died in 2012. But I was looking at her first marriage. She has 6 fucking children. How do you do that? 6 kids. I could not even imagine having one, but 6. Ay.
Well, this is the fun thing.
I hope some of them were adopted.
I think some may be. I'm not sure, but my landlord and his wife have 8. Natural.
Ugh.
They're also Orthodox Jews.
Who's there's like one of the televangelists, one of the famous dudes, has like 16 kids and they're all from his wife.
You're not
Or
talking.
something.
You're not talking about the Duggars, are you?
Mine might be.
If you're talking about the Duggars, it's 19. Yeah.
Oh.
And to me, that sounds like spousal abuse.
Well, I mean, that depends how you define it.
I guess.
But where did it go? Oh yeah, one of Phyllis Diller's quotes here. She says, "I still take the pill because I don't want any more grandchildren."
Okay.
I don't know. I think that's funny.
Yes, kind of. Well, Seraphim says a couple in her hometown has 16 kids.
Please tell me some are adopted. Please, please.
Well, one of my kind of cousins in Crystal Ridge, which is near Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, but on her side of the family, they had 13.
Ugh.
None of them were
I mean,
adopted.
how do you even afford that many kids? Never
You
mind.
don't. That's the problem.
See, now I'm picturing the "Every Sperm is Sacred" song from Monty Python's Meaning of Life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, as far as my landlord and his wife are concerned, I guess they make a pretty good living, so I guess they can afford the 8. But it's still it to me it seems abusive. I mean,
But is it though?
Chaim, what are you putting your wife through physically?
But I mean, is she saying yes?
I don't know. You see, they're Orthodox Jews, so is she saying yes because she's saying yes, or is she saying yes because she has to?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either.
But I mean, that's the thing, though, is some people embrace their have-tos pretty hard. You know what I'm saying? Is like oh God, what is it? Girl Defined.
Oh Lord, her.
Well, no, there's 2 of them.
Oh wait a minute, that's right. I was thinking of the other one. I was thinking of
The-
Lori,
the,
whatever her
like,
name is.
Reformed Wife or
That's the
whatever,
one.
that
That's the one. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
That was my bad. Yeah, Girl Defined. That's the 2 of them. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, they love those 2 on the Girl Defined. They love the idea of being subservient to their husbands. Love it. And wow, Dr. Ruth is still alive.
Oh my word, she's got to be, what, 123 by now?
Well, she was born in 1928, so. Sorry, I again going down rabbit holes. I was looking at the trivia about Phyllis. Oh no, sorry, Joan Rivers. I guess there was still Joan Rivers, and it says. I mean, this is such a stupid bit of trivia. It says almost shared the same birthday with Ruth Westheimer by 4 days, who is 5 years Rivers' senior. What the hell kind of bit of trivia is that? You know,
Well, it
4
is.
days and 5 years separate our birthdays. Ooh.
Well, it is rather trivial.
Yes, but that's not usually what people mean by trivia.
I know. I was getting all pedantic on you.
But it was because I saw, you know, Dr. Ruth's name. I was like, huh, she's still around. But apparently so.
Jesus Christ.
Wow. Okay. Before Johnny Carson's death, Joan Rivers called him many times, but he refused to answer all her calls. Okay.
All right.
I don't know. I don't even remember what killed Carson.
Oh man. I do not.
I mean, maybe
remember.
it's a little morbid. Maybe it's a little morbid, but when there's a dead celebrity, I'm always curious what got them.
Emphysema. He was a heavy smoker.
You know, it's funny to me sometimes finding out weird little things about celebrities. Like, did you know that Tom Hanks is a smoker, or at least was for a good long time?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that one surprised me. I had no idea.
I was surprised to find out he was only a year older than I am.
Wait, Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
No.
July 9th, 1956.
No. Tom Hanks isn't that old.
I'll look it up again. Am I thinking of something else?
Apparently, Bob Barker's still alive. I thought for sure he was dead.
Oh, Jesus
Oh, yeah, I
Christ.
guess so. 1956, Tom Hanks. That doesn't make any sense to me. I thought for sure he was younger, but okay.
Yeah, I thought it was because I looked that up yesterday. When that so-called satire came out about his death.
I hadn't heard about that. I mean, I understand he's now positive for coronavirus.
Yeah,
and in
yeah.
Australia.
Right.
But other than that, I mean, I guess someone might have made fun of, you know, like, oh, look, he's dead because he has corona. I bet you someone did that, but still. Wow, he has a lot of projects in the works. But anyway, what was I going to say about something about Tom Hanks? I guess I don't know. Oh, not about Tom Hanks. Like, I don't know if your memory for celebrities is like mine, where you see a name and you're like, wait a minute, I know that name, even if you don't necessarily know immediately like who it is.
Okay.
And I was watching that show, The Mentalist, that I was telling you about, right?
Okay.
And I noticed that an episode was being directed by Roxanne Dawson. And I'm like, no, seriously? B'Elanna Torres directed this? Because B'Elanna Torres' character from Star Trek Voyager. And I was like, whoa, that's too awesome. She directed this episode. Like a lot of directors out there, or a lot of actors become directors after a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Huh.
And now there's the one I find hard to understand, or I don't get. Let's put it that way. Directors directing themselves, or actors directing themselves.
It's got to be difficult.
Yeah, it's got to be difficult. Or soloists conducting themselves.
Now, when you say soloists, be more specific.
Okay, let's say.
Stop. Hold on. Stop. When I say be more specific, are you talking about singing, instrument, what?
Instrument.
Okay.
For example, a pianist conducting the orchestra from the keyboard. So he's essentially, or she's
Wow.
essentially, that's the point. Yeah, that pianist is essentially conducting him or herself as well as the rest of the orchestra.
But how? I mean, usually when you see a conductor, they got the little Harry Potter wand and they're doing their hand and shit. How do you do that when you're playing a piano?
Well, okay, you don't have the Harry Potter wand when you're doing that. In some cases, they're just simply using their hands, and in other cases, which is
How?
one,
No, I mean, seriously, you say they're using their hands, but they have to be, playing the piano. How
and
do
then
they do this?
when they're using the hands at the piano, this is something I'm familiar with. It's one of the things that the high school band director would do with us. He would get us to the point where we would rehearse the piece as he wanted it, and then okay, we'd start with the piece, and he's up at the podium, and then he would step down from the podium and walk away and expect us to do it the way he had wanted us to do it.
So, in other words, not actually conducting.
Well, the whole bit was, you see, the conducting is done before the performance, really.
So, not
The
actually
yeah,
conducting.
the guy
It's like
who's
someone who
the guy.
directs a play, but the actors, I mean, in a movie, if you're directing a movie, you have the ability to cut. But with a play, you have to do it all the first time. So, you can't really direct. You just have to direct beforehand and then say, all right, go and don't fuck it up. But
Right. Yeah.
so that's not really conducting.
Okay. Okay.
In my world, if you're not waving your hand and you don't have the wand, you're not conducting.
Okay. I like it.
I'm just saying, because you pre-conducted at best.
Yeah,
Now,
because
if the dude was at the piano and said, "Okay, I can't wave my hands. Watch me nod my head along to the beat," okay, but
yeah, David would have called that sort of thing keeping time.
David,
The high school band
oh,
director. Yeah, his name was David.
okay.
His name was David Petrella, and he was very, very, very professional. Too professional for most of the kids.
Okay, I don't know what that means, but okay.
He drove them the way he would drive someone in the business. He would have he drove them the way he would have driven a professional band. And these were high school kids.
Maybe I don't know what you mean by drove in this
Oh, he
case. I mean,
expected.
I understand being a harsh taskmaster if that's what you mean, but
Yeah, that's basically it. A really, really, really,
uh,
really harsh taskmaster. He didn't last very long because the kids hated him.
well, I mean, I know that there are people out there though who manage to direct or to manage a band without being Genghis Khan about it.
Well, he was. That's the problem. Yeah, the kids hated him.
Yeah. Um, starting to get hungry. It is noon, like noon, almost noon
Yeah,
20.
it's yeah, getting pretty late for you. Oh,
But
excuse me.
when I went shopping yesterday, I really wanted SpaghettiOs with meatballs, and all I could find was SpaghettiOs with Franks, and I was pissed.
Oh man, no, the spaghettios with Franks doesn't make it. No, 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 no. You have to have the
Um,
meatballs. Yeah.
but like
Um,
I said before, that aisle was emptied out. It was a wasteland in there.
I don't know if I should go back today or not. Like I say, I did forget to look up the enter adhesive, and while I'm there, I could always search for bacon in case they had it, and then I've got I've got spaghetti here. I could make spaghetti alla carbonara at some point.
I I actually have to go out. I have some prescriptions I need to pick up.
Oh my. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, granted, I think that my neurologist is being a little too triple redundant on this one, but I'm still taking the brain meds, right? And he said that he wants me to take brain meds for 2 years after the surgery, and I'm kind of pissed about that because I seem to remember him saying 1 year, and then he changed it to 2. I swear he changed it to 2. But regardless, I have to pick that up because otherwise, you know. I mean, for all I know, it could turn into a disaster if I don't keep taking it. But I think that my doctor is being overly cautious.
I don't know offhand whether your doctor is or not, because something with me, it takes longer than it used to. But eventually, if I go off the phenytoin, the brain anomaly catches up with me, and I start feeling a little premotor seizurous.
Well,
And
I admit it. Well, go on.
yeah, and it's at that point where I decide, okay, I guess I'm just going to have to stay on this stuff. I've been on it. Let's see. I've been on it, what, 34 years? I was 18 when I went on. I'm 62 now.
Well,
No, 44 years.
I admit, like, I haven't been as diligent as I used to be in remembering to take those meds, and it hasn't seemed to have affected me at all. So,
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, you know, there's a chance. Like sometimes I forget where it's like I've made a little bit of breakfast, I've fed the cat, now cats, and you know, I booted up the computer, and so I wait for it to, or I instead of waiting for it to boot up, I make the food while it's booting up, and this that is, you know, so I'm multitasking out the ass, and I might forget about the meds, and it has not had any noticeable effect on me whatsoever.
Okay, yeah. These days, it takes me several weeks to notice that I've quit taking the meds. It used to take a couple days, you know, back when I was about 20 years old. So, yeah, my condition has changed in the intervening years, but I'm kind of disappointed where it appears that I have to keep taking this stuff. So, oh well, you know, what are you going to do?
Someone on Twitter said that there's cops at Costco because people got into fights about toilet paper. Aha! Oh, thank goodness. I think someone in this chat found the meme I was looking for about the current top 40s music.
Ooh.
Because they posted on Twitter, "This is for you." And I'm only just now noticing it because I decided to browse Twitter for a sec to see if I could find this picture on there before I looked on Facebook. And yeah, that's
Yeah.
really appropriate.
Oh man.
I mean, they're not wrong. But yeah, no, I popped onto Twitter to look for that, and apparently someone posted it at me.
Boy,
and
Seraphim.
Oh, and there's a sleeping Xander. Both cats are sleeping.
Me. Yeah, Xander will be doing quite a bit of that for a while.
Yeah. He. Now, maybe this isn't normal for a kitty. Maybe it is. I don't remember other cats doing it. But if I make him chase stuff for a while, he gets breathing so hard. Like just.
Oh my.
like he pants, almost like a dog.
Oh my.
Yeah. I've never had a cat do that before. Also, he's very, 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 very warm compared to Columbia. I wonder if he's sick. I swear, if it turns out my kitty dies of the coronavirus, I'm going to be pissed.
I have to. Let's see, why? is my kitty warm?
Let's see. Yeah, the WHO says that dogs, cats, and other pets can get coronavirus.
I was assuming that a kitty could get a coronavirus. I mean, if it's anything like the flu, cats are susceptible to influenza.
Well, the Humane Society here says pets won't give you coronavirus, but you might give it to them. But then here we go. Experts say dogs, cats are not affected. Who to believe anymore?
I know.
Wait a minute. Feline coronavirus treatment could stop spread of COVID-19 in humans, doctor says. What the fuck? You can't believe anything anymore. Everyone's contradicting each other.
My word.
Oh, man.
How do I reduce my cat's heat? What does that mean? Oh, okay, I see.
Oh, well, it says here that abnormal or unregulated hyperthermia in cats may result from being in a very warm environment or having increased muscle activity, for example.
Oh, like
So,
chasing shit around the house.
yeah, I have been exercising him. Oh, by the same time, he has also been sneezing a little. So, it may be that he's a little ill. Although, let's see. Watch for these signs of a fever: loss of appetite, depression, lack of energy or activity, decreased drinking, decreased grooming, and shivering or rapid breathing. Well, the only one he's got here is rapid breathing. Then again, I don't have a baseline to judge his level of grooming. I mean, every cat's different.
Yeah.
I have seen him drinking a fair bit. Water, mind you.
And you've had him, what, less than a week, right?
Yes, he definitely has a lack of energy. I haven't noticed him being depressed. As for lack of appetite, again, I can't gauge. He's a kitten. He probably eats less than Columbia will. He does eat. He loves his kibble. The wet food, not so much. But he loves his kibble.
I don't know how this one would react to wet food.
Of course, it might also just because he's been recently snipped.
Could be.
Let's see. Will neutering make my cat warm? Of course, now they're saying, oh, is your cat in heat? I did not ask about heat. I asked if he'd be physically warm.
And besides, he's male.
Well,
Oh, here he comes.
what? Who?
He's behind you.
Hey there, buddy. Hey there, buddy. Oh. Do you want lap sits? No? Hey there, buddy boy. Can you see him? I can't tell. I'm looking at him.
I can barely see the top of his head and an ear.
Well, he's being a little cutie pants.
Is you being a cutie kitty?
Oh, what are you looking at? Oh, you're going after the cords again, aren't you? Don't make me take the spray bottle to you. Oh, no, and do not attack the sleeping Columbia. That is such a bad idea.
Yeah, that is not good. No, that would get you massacred.
Hey there, buddy boy.
Oh, look at the kitty face.
Yeah. And Columbia's gone back to sleep. When I said her name, telling Xander not to attack her. She looked up like, huh? What I meant? No! Chewing on the microphone cable.
Damn cat.
No. Okay, I'm gonna have to spray you. Do you want me to spray you? Because this is how you get sprayed. Now he's like, no, I'll just bathe a paw. And play with your toes.
Yes.
Oh, you're cute. Unlike Columbia, he likes his tummy rubbed.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Oh, look at you, you little cute floor kitty.
Is you the kitty? Kittiness.
Well, he's definitely grooming himself, so I doubt whatever that, like, why he's warm. Maybe he's just warm. Some people are warm and some aren't. I mean, like I've often said I think I'm part reptile just because my body does not heat itself. But of course, the doctors also tell me I have very small veins, and that might be part of it.
Ah, okay. That could well be. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because, like, I've had so many blood draws since the seizure thing happened, and like, I have to keep telling the phlebotomists, I'm like, you do not want to go digging around in my crowbow, because you will be at it for 5 minutes before you find a vein if you do. However, there are some monsters on the back of my hand, so go there. Please go there. I've had a few insist, no, I can get it here. I'm like, dude, I don't want you to stab me too many times. Get me here. Ugh.
Yeah, I always tell them go over to the right side, because even back when I was in hospital for the brain shit that was going on, I had a 24-hour glucose tolerance test, and you drink a bottle of that absolutely crappy quasi-orange flavored glucose solution. Then they did the blood draw and the urine sample every hour. So they finally, after they poked this like 19 times or some shit like that, and things were getting a little dicey, so they went over here and they just simply could not get a vein. You know, they had to go looking in the back of my hand somewhere.
I mean, I went in for a checkup not too long ago, and when they did the blood draw, they, usually it used to be like even 2-3 years ago, they would just give you a Band-Aid. Now they wrap your hand in gauze with like a pad under it, for like a tiny little needle that isn't even going to bleed at all, but they just wrap your hand like you broke your wrist or some shit to keep, yeah. And I was like, really? This isn't overkill, guys? Really? Ugh. I don't know.
Oh my. So you bled for 2 minutes on the back of the hand. Jesus Christ.
But no, I seriously, like, I don't know if you'll be able to see them on camera, but I have some monstrous veins on the back of my hand, like gigantic, and they're blue. You can see the blue through the skin, like not quite vividly, but enough that it's like, holy shit. So yeah, I always tell them, get me like right here. And to be fair, most of them take that advice, but some of them just, they're like, no, I can get it. I can totally do it on your arm. I'm like, please save me the extra stabbings.
Oh,
the really
my.
creepy one, though, when they stick the needle in and they don't hit a vein, and instead of pulling it back out, they sort of twist the needle around trying to get the vein.
Uh-huh.
Dude,
Not
I want you
fun.
to minimize my pain as much as possible. I do not like being perforated.
Oh man, that used to get to me too. With dentist visits, when they do the whole Novocaine thing and they intentionally twist the damn needle around. Oh God, I hated the Novocaine injections. I finally got to tolerate them as the last of my teeth were pulled. Yeah, they had totally fallen apart. The hypomonetary dental condition, or whatever you want to call it, or simply couldn't afford to see a dentist.
Oh, but that's feline neutering, damn it. Not getting an answer on this one, which makes me think that it's not the case that cats get fevers from neutering.
Okay.
Let's see. But I'll look at multiple sites, but still. And I did have to change, will neutering give my cat a fever? Because typing in warm made Google think I meant cats in heat.
Asked.
Definitely not seeing anything at all about fever. So, yeah. Well, so it's still a mystery, I guess.
Oh, so it must be part of Catholic dogma.
Okay.
Now, we got that line. Anything they couldn't explain, it's a mystery.
It's metaphorical.
Moo.
But what is a metaphor, anyway?
Oh, my. I'm trying to think of something I can do with meta.
Well, then you should do a meta-analysis.
Yeah. There you go. Actually, those do exist,
Whatever.
Yeah, analysis of analyses, basically.
Yeah.
What do we got over here? Not much.
Well, I should probably go eat. And I should probably go pick up those meds. So I should probably take off.
What are you taking off? No, huh?
No, anyway. Yeah. So I will catch you like the plague.
Alrighty, we'll love having you around. And just be good at it or something. I don't know. And
I just won't get caught.
there you go. And
Have fun storming my castle. Oh yeah, but watch the Princess Bride, damn it.
Yes, we got to do
Bride.
this.
All right,
I'll
laters.
find a copy. Take care, hon. Oh my, oh my, oh my. And that means that we switch over to camera 2. And look at that. Yay, I'm here all by myself. Well, not for very much longer, because to tell you the absolute truth, I'm going to have to fade into the west here in a minute or two. And, yeah, as a matter of fact, I've seen that one. And then there's the naked rollerblading as well, Amiga Nuts. Oh, my word. And then, yeah, I'm going to have to get to bed soon, believe it or not, because I want to make sure that I have enough sleep to be awake tomorrow and get to the damn doctor's office and get that oil change and lube job and all that shit. So okay, that's a couple of us. The magic fish tank, yay! Well, eventually I will do something with that. What I want to do first is take care of some video hardware. Get some video hardware and convert this to a double-headed system, to video cards, or a video card with two outputs, and two monitors, and see what happens with that. And yeah, flush my radiator. God, that sounds sick. Yeah, I don't even know if I'm going to do the denture adhesive thing. I mean, I'm sitting on half a tube, so that'll last at least a day. And tomorrow when I go see my doctor, either before I see him or after I see him, I will also stop at the bank and get some laundry money, get some quarters for the machines downstairs. It'll be fun. And I don't know. I'm gonna have to take a look at what I've got in the bottle of laundry soap. See if I need any of that, which will be, real interesting in this day and age, because you look for anything in the damn stores and it's all gone, all of it. And well, just like at the local Squall Mart, this was the paper products aisle. All sorts of fun. So, what could we do here? But, oh well. So that's going to go away. And improv Bible study. Okay, we can do that. Or Bible study. Well, come on up here. I wasn't kidding, Seraphim, when I said that I have 40 pounds of cat food here. What I've got to look for is cat toilet, cat litter. But then again, okay, so yeah, we will take care of some stuff. I will see if I'm throwing parts. And if I am throwing parts, well, what are you going to do, right? There you go. Kibble and Bits. I think that was a brand, wasn't it? Oh, my. Well, okay, wet food. Here. Take a bowl of kibble, put it under the kitchen faucet, run the water in, and that's wet food. No, huh? Doesn't work that way. Oh, it's my pleasure. Guys, I love doing this stuff, and I'm doing it for you. Really, I am. You are what keep me coming here. And that's why I want to, emphasize that I want to thank everyone who's here and everyone who's not here. I recently learned of one person at least who regularly comes to view my shows after they're over. And thanks, Chris. Thank you, thank you. You are a big, 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 big sweetie. And I'll definitely tune into the six packs on Fridays, see what happens. And as far as the rest of you, I love it. I love doing this. I love doing it for you. I'm going to keep doing it as long as I can. But for now, my PayPal, I'm trying to think here how they get you in. What is my PayPal? What is my PayPal address? Is the email address on your PayPal account? Okay, so let's see. No, like that. Let me see if I can do this right here. Okay, so if I see this correctly, as far as I understand, my PayPal address is the email address I used to set that up. It's not... Oh my, that sounds like fun. When you say your page, do you mean the take care, hon, and be good and stuff and things, and is it a go to a channel here? Yeah, we're trying to... Okay, it's subscripticated. Okay, I'm not sure I understand there, but we'll see what happens. Go to your page and I'll understand. I don't know if you mean my if you mean your YouTube or if you mean something else here. We will look and find, and let's see, what else do we have? I guess, Amiga Nuts, the only way I know, this is the one that always confuses me, but allegedly my PayPal address is the email I used to set this up. So let's see. Okay. Allegedly, this will get you in. Okay, you did mean the channel. Okay, did it have something to do with tiny homes? Okay, then. We'll see how that goes. And some of the other... no, I've got to be careful as far as my PayPal... not PayPal... Yeah, as far as my Patreon is concerned. Because I'm getting to that getting close to that level where the IRS is going to start noticing me. So I'll have to work out the reporting with all the Section 8 and everything else. So we'll see where that goes and see what we can do with it. But okay, I got ya. That sounds, yeah, okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to talk this out. See what we can do with it. Definitely. Because I know about anxiety, I know about PTSD. Oy. So, okay. At 7 watching now. God, started streaming 3 hours ago. It's almost 4 hours ago now. So, yeah. What we're going to do is, as I say, thank you. Thank everyone who's here and everyone who's not here. God, I am so glad you guys come by. I really am. And having Kate here and having Mom NATO here and yeah, we're gonna do some talking about that. Be mindful. And in the meantime, I'm gonna get myself prepped for going out to the doctor and stuff. So I am going to say, if you guys don't mind much at all, there we go. I'm going to say take care and thanks a lot, troops. See you on the other side. Oh, before I go, tomorrow is it, or is it Monday? I've got a transgendered shift video coming out. Well, no, tomorrow is Monday. So, yeah, tomorrow is a transgendered video, transgendered chef video. So be ready for that. Anyway, thanks a lot, troops. God, see you on the other side.